Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:02. I'm Manda Factor, and here's just some of what we're following this morning. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office still searching for the people who robbed and killed a 17-year-old boy in Parkland. Investigators say Braylon Diaz was shot to death in front of his girlfriend on Sunday. A 19-year-old accused of shooting 3 people outside a Capitol Hill nightclub made his first court appearance yesterday. Prosecutors asking for $1.5 million bail with a charging decision expected tomorrow. Chelan County's government is shut down this morning after a malware attack knocked out networks, computers, and phones. An update on when services come back is expected today. Union journalists at 4 McClatchy newspapers walk off the job at 7 this morning. Workers at the News Tribune, the Olympian, the Bellingham Herald, and the Tri-City Herald want better pay and clear rules around artificial intelligence. And the Mariners are rolling. Seattle hammered the Athletics 9-2 last night with 4 home runs. Game 2 tonight in Sacramento. It's 5:03 on your Tuesday morning. Back to work day. Let's check the roads. Time for a check on traffic. Chris Sullivan's here. Good morning.
Does winning one game against the A's really count as rolling?
They're rolling. Come on, positive.
We'll take it.
We're staying positive.
Okay. Well, some of us are. All right. We're doing okay. There's a little rain out there here and there. The weathers are not great. So, just to be prepared, the roads are going to be wet. We've got a little bit of building volume here and there, but overall travel times are not bad. We're looking at about 35 minutes to make it from Olympia to Tacoma, 35 as well from Federal Way to Seattle. The Valley Freeway is not bad, a little heavy at the north end there as you tie into Renton, but that's manageable. Renton to Bellevue is only about 15. We do have some slowing on eastbound 16 right there at the Gig Harbor Toll Plaza. Be checking into that, have more for you at the bottom of the hour. Coming up coming down from the north end, a little slowing by the Boeing Freeway, but overall not bad. 35 to 40 minutes to go from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
As Sullivan mentioned, we do have some showers.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
It's 5:04 on ABC's Start Here. Brad Milkey takes a look at the primary election in Texas.
President Trump can't run for office again. Now, usually that would mean he has way less sway over his fellow Republicans than a guy who might be in the White House for years to come. And yet last week, we saw President Trump can still make or break Republican campaigns.
Thomas Massey's a terrible congressman. He's been a terrible congressman from day one.
He told Kentucky voters to ditch their congressman in more than a decade. Well, they did.
I got 7 months left in Congress.
Several candidates sailed through their primaries with Trump's blessing. Now, in some of these deep red districts, the primary might as well be the election. Republicans are likely to beat whatever Democrat is on the ballot. Texas, though, is a bit more complicated.
Democrat Beto O'Rourke has been drawing big crowds and big bucks.
Colin Allred, a Democrat from the Dallas area, has really made headlines.
For years, Democrats believe they've gotten closer to winning statewide elections there, and yet Republican candidates keep winning.
Texas will remain Texas.
Some analysts say it might take a real break from the status quo to change that. Well, less than a week before the Texas primary for Senate, an emboldened President Trump finally made an endorsement in the race. And in doing so, not only is this primary in play, but so perhaps is the seat come November. The primary runoff is today. Let's get us started with ABC's Deputy Political Director, Ben Siegel. Ben, can you just break down this race and these 2 Republicans who are running head-to-head?
Well, this is the latest front in this battle inside the Republican Party. President Trump weighed in the runoff here.
I have so much respect for the president and so appreciate his endorsement, and I think it creates a slight bit of momentum, don't you?
Endorsed Ken Paxton, who is running a primary challenge against Senator John Cornyn, a 4-term veteran of the Senate.
I refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, and shameless candidate like Ken Paxton risk everything we've worked so hard to build.
Someone from the George Bush wing of the party, predates this Donald Trump moment of the Republican Party. And it's just sort of this new test of what the Republican Party is, who is a Republican in this last phase of the Trump administration of President Trump's 2 terms in office.
Can you tell me a bit more about Ken Paxton then? Because he's the sitting attorney general, but we keep hearing from Senator Cornyn and his supporters that if Paxton wins, Democrats would actually have a better chance of winning in November. Why would that be?
Ken Paxton is someone who has a very loyal, vocal following in Texas Republican politics, and he has no shortage of controversies in his past.
The election on May the 26th is the first time he will actually have been held accountable for all of his misdeeds.
He was accused of adultery by his wife, who filed for divorce on biblical grounds. He was indicted on charges of security fraud several years ago, charges that were later dismissed. And he was impeached by Republicans in his own party of allegations of bribery, obstruction of justice, and abuse of public trust, among other charges.
Paxton's former top aides testifying before the Senate, sharing that they were fired after reporting concerns about Paxton's behavior to law enforcement, even including an alleged extramarital affair.
Now, that also did not reach the threshold to remove him from office in Texas, but it still points to a really checkered past. This is not a typical politician.
I'm going to be the same type of person there that I've been in the Texas legislature, and the same type of person that I've been as Attorney General of Texas. I will go up there and fight for you. I will not go up there and join Mitch McConnell to join the swamp and not do what you want done.
But at the same time, he's never lost an election. He has a devoted following. In some ways, it sounds very much like the current president and leader of the Republican Party. So there is some kinship there.
Well, so then is the endorsement about what Paxton brings, or is it more about what Cornyn doesn't bring? Like, what's the president's thinking?
Well, there's a couple different things at play here with the president.
MAGA is most of the Republican Party. The rhinos are gone to a large extent.
The first thing is that the president cares deeply about his endorsement and the power it has in Republican politics. We saw this last week where he and his allies handpicked somebody to run against a critic of his, Thomas Massie, and really destroyed Massie, ended his political career. Right. So the wins and the losses, his record there is something he covets.
You know, I won Texas all 6 times, meaning primaries and the race, and I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, and I love Texas.
We understand that private polling that Republicans have seen has shown Paxton pulling ahead. This is something that was probably not lost on the president. And the
you don't want to back somebody if they're not going to win, basically, because then it counts against you.
Exactly. The president is almost never backed somebody who's lost a Republican primary. But he's also expressed frustration with John Cornyn. He said John Cornyn has not done enough to push his agenda through Congress. And he's also been frustrated on issues of election integrity, election security, certain things that he thinks that are important for the party to take up. And it should be noted in all this that Ken Paxton was one of the most vocal supporters of the president's effort to overturn the results of the 2020 election. As the attorney general in Texas, he helped bring some of those lawsuits forward. So when you look at what was on the ledger here for the president in terms of his support, those are all different elements at play.
Well, so then I guess I'm wondering, will the president's endorsement have an effect, or has the effect already happened and now the president's getting on board? Like the polling you said shows that Paxton could actually be pulling away, or I mean, what are voters thinking in Texas?
I think it's a really mixed bag here. I think at the end of the day, what we've seen in this environment, even as the president's approval rating is going down, concerns about the economy are going up, he is still retaining the loyal support of the majority of Republicans. And the people who vote in primaries are these hardcore Republican supporters, many of whom also vote for Ken Paxton. So again, we'll have to see what happens when the polls close today. And you don't want to rule anything out in this moment in politics in the United States. But the combination of an endorsement from a president who's very popular with Republican voters for somebody who has a deep well of support among GOP activists in the state of Texas, it really makes it hard to see John Cornyn pulling this off. So, Brad, we'll see what happens when the dust settles. If John Cornyn is able to pull this off, incumbents historically have a much easier time defending seats on Election Day. So that would be good news for the Republican Party as John Thune, as Speaker Mike Johnson try to defend their majorities in the House and the Senate in November. And if Ken Paxton wins, that would set up a race in November against James Tallarico.
They're going to call me a radical leftist. They're going to call me a fake Christian.
A Democrat who is exciting people across the spectrum in Texas, certainly across the Democratic Party.
The only truth is we are a threat. We're a threat to their corrupt system.
At a time when Latino voters might be turning against the Republican Party in a state that has the ingredients for a potential upset, even though Democrats have not won here in decades. And the challenge for the Republican Party is when you look at the map, when you look at all these seats they have to defend, If Paxton wins, there are some people in the party who worry that they will now have to sink resources into Texas, a very large, very expensive state. It could make the battle for control of the Senate a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and it all kind of serves to remind us that we often think of primaries as like 50% of the November electorate. That's not the case. Like, the group of people that actually vote in the Democratic or Republican primaries are often very different, and yet they decide who everyone else is about to vote for. Ben Siegel, thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
ABC's Brad Milkey. Iranian officials are in Qatar for peace talks as President Trump signals progress has been made on reaching an agreement to end the war. Those negotiations continued over the weekend. News Nation Washington correspondent Kristen Eskow reports.
According to a senior Trump administration official, the potential deal being discussed would reopen the Strait of Hormuz and force Iran to give up its stockpile of enriched uranium. And that process would be worked out over a 60-day extension of the ceasefire. President Trump says that enriched uranium would be destroyed.
In Operation Epic Fury, we lost 13 wonderful souls, wonderful, special people.
On Memorial Day, President Trump paid tribute to America's fallen service members, including the 13 who have been killed in the U.S. military operation in Iran.
These incredible men and women gave their lives to ensure that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror will never have a nuclear weapon. Oh, and they won't. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
On Truth Social, President Trump said Monday the peace talks are, quote, proceeding nicely. He went on to say that any agreement reached to end the war should mandate several Middle Eastern countries, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Pakistan, join the Abraham Accords. The agreements were signed in 2020 under the first Trump administration to try to improve relations between Israel and neighboring countries. President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio say there's no rush to make a deal.
It's going to take a couple days to settle on, even down to the disagreements over a word, sentence. It's either going to be a good deal or there isn't going to be one.
U.S. Central Command says U.S. military forces launched what are described as self-defense strikes in southern Iran on Monday. A spokesperson says those strikes were targeting Iranian missile launch sites and Iranian boats trying to lay mines. Kristen Eskow, News Nation, Washington.
Going to be a little bit showery in spots this morning. 63-hour high for today. We'll get to some sunshine this afternoon, though. For tomorrow, mostly sunny. Nice 73, 77 on Thursday. And it looks like we'll cloud up on Friday and likely see some showers again, and only 61. Enjoy the sunshine, though, for the next couple of days after the showers dry up this morning. It's cloudy and 52 in Seattle right now. And coming up, more from ABC's Brad Milkey on the Start Here program. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us? Touchdown, Seahawks! This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
It's 5:18 on ABC Start Here. ABC's Brad Milkey takes a look at the recent chemical leak in California that caused a state of emergency.
Evacuations happen for lots of reasons. Hurricanes, floods, wildfires. Californians are certainly familiar with some of these, but very few of them were prepared to be evacuated because of a potential chemical tank explosion. Well, that is exactly what's been happening in Orange County, California in recent days. Entire blocks, entire neighborhoods cleared out in the face of an impending disaster. At one point, officials were warning that this chemical tank, located at an aerospace facility, was in crisis and would either spill or outright explode. Now it seems this crisis has evolved. ABC's Alex Stone has been following all these updates. He's there in Orange County right now. Alex, what is this facility and what's been happening there?
This is an aerospace company that makes parts for both commercial aircraft and military aircraft. But if you think of the canopy over a fighter jet, that there is an acrylic that is used to make that canopy. And that's what is in the tank that has caused so many problems over the last couple of days. So if we go back to last Thursday, there was what firefighters thought was a release of some of this chemical. It's called MMA, and MMA stands for methylcrylate, and it is a very toxic chemical that they use when they are making these parts for airplanes. And there was a bit of a release. They thought there was a problem with a valve. They thought it was taken care of, and there was no worry. There had been some evacuations around the area, fearful that there was toxic chemical in the air, and they thought it was all clear, and everybody was good to go. Well, then, come Friday, they realized there was a much bigger problem. The valve at the top of the tank wasn't releasing anything into the air any longer, that it was stuck. It was not releasing pressure.
That tank, when it heated up on the first day, actually bulged. It got to a point where it does what we call a BLEVE, which is a boiling, liquid, expanding vapor explosion.
That is a bad sign. That means that there is a chemical reaction going on inside the tank, and that it could explode.
I cannot emphasize, this is not precautionary. This is going to happen unless some brilliant guy behind me here figures out how we can mitigate this incident.
And the concern was that because the pressure and the temperature inside were going to get so great that there would be a catastrophic explosion, one that would be something that, akin to a mushroom cloud, a big fireball over this area that could have wiped out a lot of neighborhoods.
Oh, wow. And so, and Alex, not just like scary enough to hear there's a chemical leak that might be seeping. This would be like bursting with a force that could destroy buildings, plus all the chemicals going everywhere.
This would have been a huge chemical explosion, and it would have set off likely other chemical explosions from other tanks that are around it and at other properties around the aerospace manufacturing center. So, yeah, this would have been a big deal. So they cleared out 10 square miles all around the area.
I don't know how long this is going to be, how long we're going to have to be displaced.
I'm scared, and I don't know if anything that already is in the air is going to affect us.
At the peak, there were 50,000 people who were told they had to evacuate. Firefighters were putting water on it, a lot of water, trying to cool it down.
Chemists, scientists, we're all working around the clock trying to find the best solution.
The whole thing was to get the temperature down, get the pressure down, because, think of a liquefied plastic. If they could get it to begin hardening, then that would end any release of anything into the air. That would end any chemical reaction to explode if they could make it a hard plastic. And that's what they've been focused on.
Well, so what happened? Because authorities are now saying this is no longer an impending catastrophe, but they're still in crisis mode. So what has changed here?
So all of a sudden on Sunday night, they noticed there was a crack in the top of the tank.
We are happy to report that the threat of a levee is now off the table.
The fire chief here is telling me there is no more pressure inside the tank. It has been completely depressurized by that crack on the top.
Just so I'm clear, Alex, they're saying there's a crack in it, the pressure is relieved, but the chemicals are somehow not leaking out into the environment?
Because they think that the chemical had already hardened and that it's already hard inside there. Now, like you're baking a cake, it hardens from the outside in. When you try to make sure your cake is done and it's still soft in the middle.
Right.
They are now working. They've got to figure out with cameras and technology and things, is it done doing its thing? Is the chemical reaction done?
The threat is not eliminated. The threat of a levee is eliminated.
The temperature is coming down. That is a good sign because it goes up when it's doing its chemical reaction. It is coming down now. If it is totally hard inside there, they don't have to worry about anything. Case closed, we're done. They don't know yet, but they believe it either is hardening or has totally hardened and the risk is going away.
All right. Alex Stone, there in Orange County in California right now. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks, Brad.
The ABC's Brad Milkey. It's 5:23. We're going to see some showers in spots this morning, but peaks of sunshine by afternoon. Not bad, 63. And then a couple of really nice days, mostly sunny, 73 tomorrow. Sunshine and 77 Thursday. Next chance of showers rolls in on Friday. Will be much cooler, about 61. Right now in Seattle, cloudy skies. It's 52 degrees. And coming up, crime and punishment. Our weekly check-in with Casey McNerthney at the King County Prosecutor's Office. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Spring is here, and it's time to call Integrity Roofing and Construction, your trusted local roofing team. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected all season long. Spike O'Neill here. Visit IntegrityRC.com to schedule a free roof assessment and video inspection today. Serving our community with over 10 years' experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with everything from simple roof repair to full renovation. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com or call 206-202-ROOF.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all.
That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO Newsradio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
CarsForKids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Yeah, hi. I need an AC tune-up, and one room isn't comfortable.
We could do both. We'll get your system running right and take a look at the room. Ductless could be a great solution.
Perfect.
Yeah, and if your system's older, right now when you install a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system, the furnace is free.
Wow.
So you get a complete heating and cooling system for the price of one, and we help maximize rebates to save you the most.
Visit cmheating.com today for your tune-up or free estimate.
There's no beating CM Heating.
CMHEA HL751LW.
Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:30. I'm Manda Factor. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office is still looking for the people who robbed a teenage boy in Parkland, then shot him to death right in front of his girlfriend. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin spoke with that girlfriend.
Around 7 o'clock Sunday evening, a car drove past, did a U-turn, then came up beside the couple, demanding they come closer to the car.
Essentially, they robbed him of a gold chain that was around his neck and then shot him and took off. Just absolutely senseless crime.
Deputies say he died from those injuries. They tell us that this was a random robbery and shooting.
The victim has now been identified as 17-year-old Braylon Diaz. A 19-year-old accused of shooting 3 people outside a Capitol Hill nightclub made his first court appearance yesterday. The shooting happened May 18th outside Cultura after what police describe as an argument between security and a group of suspects. Court documents say surveillance video shows the teen punching someone, walking away, then returning to continue the confrontation before opening fire. 3 people shot, including one victim shot in the abdomen. Prosecutors are asking for $1.5 million bail. A charging decision is expected tomorrow. A Skagit County man is accused of sexually assaulting a woman he met on Tinder. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has details.
The Everett Herald reports a 29-year-old man went on a date with a 27-year-old woman who's in a wheelchair and has limited mobility. The woman says she couldn't get away or fight off the suspect, according to documents obtained by the Herald. Mill Creek police say there may have been other women who have also been victims of that same suspect. He's currently in the Snohomish County Jail on a $102,000 bail.
Everett firefighters pulled off an unusual technical rescue yesterday morning after a man jumped into the chimney of a vacant home. Police were originally called about 9:15 for a trespassing complaint when smoke was spotted coming from the chimney on the 1300 block of Broadway. Officers say the man climbed onto the roof and slid about 10 feet down before refusing help. Fire crews had to break open the fireplace and surrounding wall to safely pull him out. He was taken into custody and transported to a hospital for evaluation. Well, the Mariners back on track as they win Game 1 of the big series against the division-leading Athletics. Seattle's offense took control early, scoring 6 runs in the third, including this missile from Luke Raley.
Swung on, blasted, right field. This is on its way. It is gone! Luke Raley thunders a 2-run home run into the Mariners bullpen.
That was one of 4 home runs from the M's last night. They obliterated the A's 9-2. Game 2 of the series in Sacramento tonight, first pitch at 6:40. Of course, you can catch all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. It's 5:33, time for a check on traffic. For that, here's Chris Sullivan.
And we are working on a pretty good day. So far, we're seeing some building volume here and there. If you're trying to get to the Valley Freeway, we do have a little slowing on westbound 410, just appears to be volume as you're working your way up to 167. And then you get to about a 40-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue, not too bad. Under 20 minutes to start the day, though there are some brake lights past sunset. The Valley Freeway just gave you. Olympia to Tacoma is about 35 minutes. Tacoma to Federal Way is not bad, and then Federal Way to Seattle's under 40. Lake bridges are still fine. Coming down from the north end, no problems. We've got about a 35-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
I'd see a few showers around this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny by afternoon, 63 for today. And then tomorrow and Thursday look great. Mostly sunny both days, 73 tomorrow, 77 on Thursday. And then we'll cool way back down to 61 on Friday as we see our next chance of showers roll in. Right now in Seattle, it's mostly cloudy at 52.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
A special version of Crime and Punishment with Casey McNerney from the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office this morning.
And Casey, today we're talking about drug dealing cases in King County. I know you're asked about this all the time.
All the time, because people see the fentanyl lean, they see the open air drug use, and they say, what are you doing about it? And those are good questions because people want to know. And you've got to have good answers for that. Drug possession by law now goes to the cities, regardless of where it happens in the cities. Drug dealing comes to King County prosecutors. And every so often what we do is look at the numbers for the previous quarter. And so for the first 3 months of this year, there were 46 cases that we filed across King County. About 52%, just over half of those were in Seattle, in the spots where you would expect, like 12th and Jackson, which is still a huge problem. Belltown, there was a lot of crack that was going through there. We saw a lot of proactive efforts by Seattle police to address that. A lot of these cases don't make the news because they're so routine, but it's important for folks to know that we're still doing it. And, certainly we're not saying that the work is done. I think anybody who's driven by 12th and Jackson realizes that, including prosecutors and police, so there's still a lot to be done, but it's got to keep going. The fentanyl crisis is still rampant. There's no benefit that comes from street level fentanyl.
Did you say 46 cases? That seems low to me.
Yeah.
Just based on what you see driving the streets, right?
That's true, yeah. It does seem low. That's based on the number of cases that get referred to us. I think if you added in drug possession that goes to the city, that would be much higher. But for drug dealing cases, there's a pretty high burden of proof under the law, so police have to build up those cases. It takes a lot of time, sometimes for sentencing ranges that are set by state lawmakers that aren't always what the public thinks they are, too.
Maybe you could give an example of that. What kind of sentencing, let's say you're a first-time drug dealer, what kind of time behind bars are you looking at?
Sentencing ranges are based off of an offender score. And the more previous felony convictions you have, the higher your offender score. So if you come in, even if you're suspected of being a drug dealer, causing a big problem in the community, but there's a 0 offender score because you have no conviction history, then realistically the range that you're looking at is likely 12 months. But there's also, once you get to the Department of Corrections, there's earned release time, which is basically time off for good behavior. The range can be up to 20 months, but it's rare across the state to see judges, after getting the mitigating materials from defense, go for that high end. So it's realistically usually in the 4 to 8 month range, because you also get credit for time served. What's frustrating about that is you can see people who do a lot of damage to a community.
Yes.
Make people feel very unsafe, and the sentencing ranges aren't correspondent with the kind of problems that are inflicted on a community like that.
Last week, the prosecutor's office actually charged a guy who was dealing out of an RV. What can you tell me about that case?
Yeah. So here's an example of one that is different. So this is somebody who already had 3 ongoing felony cases. In each of those cases, I think 2 of those were for stolen cars, stolen vehicles. Prosecutors asked for him to be held on $15,000 bail. And eventually, the court, on a defense motion, released him to electronic home monitoring. That's when police picked him up another time for drug dealing fentanyl, allegedly, out of this RV in Greenwood. That came to us, and that's not one where you're going to see a diversion case. I think a lot of people say, how many bites of the apple do you get? But when you have examples like that, or even first-time offenses, you've got to take that to the court, and that's what prosecutors do all the time, to say, hey, here's the damage that's being caused by this, and if you're violating the court orders of not having new law offenses, and you've racked up 4 felony cases, that's a big problem. You've got to be held accountable, and I think that's one that probably wouldn't get a lot of attention outside of this segment, but it's important for folks to know, and most importantly for the court to see.
Casey McNerthy, King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. Casey, we'll check in with you next week.
It's great to see you both.
You too. Thanks. It's 5:38. Canadian investigators are asking people in the Northwest for help identifying a woman found dead along a Vancouver beach nearly 4 years ago. The kayaker, discovered off Spanish Banks in 2022, carried no ID, just a backpack, some candy, a sweater, and insulin. Detective Rebecca Matson with Vancouver Police says a new breakthrough came after testing on her sweater.
Pollen that was indigenous to the Portland, Seattle areas, so presumably had spent time there. There was not pollen found on it that would be native to BC.
The woman, believed to be in her 30s and of African descent, died from severe anaphylaxis, not drowning. Foul play is not suspected. Anyone with information is urged to call 604-717-0619. And there is some good news on Washington roads. Traffic deaths dropped for the second year in a row in 2025. The Washington Traffic Safety Commission says 659 people died in crashes this year. According to the Washington State Standard, that's down from 737 last year and 809 in 2023. Your political insights with ABC's Stephanie Officer coming up next here on Seattle's Morning News.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us? Touchdown, Seahawks! This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
These are your political insights from ABC News. Tuesday, we'll see runoff elections for U.S. Senate candidates in Texas. GOP's John Cornyn is looking to win a fifth straight term, while AG Ken Paxton got President Trump's endorsement May 19th. Representative James Tallarico is the state's Democratic Senate nominee. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill was denied entry Monday to Delaney Hall, Newark's ICE detention facility, where there is ongoing protesting and a hunger strike. Relatives scheduled to see their loved ones were also reportedly denied. Democratic New Jersey Congressman Rob Menendez Jr.
The reason they want to make this as hard as possible, they won't let the governor in, is because they don't want us to tell the stories of what's happening inside. Because when we tell the stories, everyone in New Jersey and people across the country realize this is not who we are as a country, but a reflection of who we are in this moment under the Trump administration.
A senior U.S. official tells ABC News a potential interim Iran agreement would include reopening the Strait of Hormuz and removing a U.S. blockade. I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
It's 5:44. Check on the weather. Not too bad today. We might see some showers early on, but drying out for the afternoon hours. Partly sunny and 63. Tomorrow and Thursday look great. Lots of sunshine. 73 tomorrow, 77 Thursday. And then Friday will cloud up and likely see some showers again and much cooler, a high of 61. It's cloudy and 52 in Seattle right now. Coming up, New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold joins us with the latest on the war in Iran and also a push to stop the Trump administration from painting the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. We'll get to that next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, a well-insulated attic can be your home's secret weapon. Upgrading attic insulation is a cost-effective way to make your home more energy efficient. It also helps keep your home warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Better insulation equals better air quality, less moisture, and no mold, improving the air quality you and your family breathe. Call now for $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
good morning. It's 546, Seattle's Morning News, along with Charlie Harger. I'm Manda Factor.
And every Tuesday, we call up New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold to talk about the big national headlines of the week. David, let's begin in Iran. We had a little flare-up yesterday. This, as the president says, a deal is near.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a reflection of the fact that the deal may not be near. What happened yesterday was that the U.S. launched what it described as self-defense strikes against missile sites, Iranian missile sites, and mine-laying operations in near the Strait of Hormuz. So, I mean, this is probably what you need to do in this situation. Trump has said he wants a deal that will reopen the Strait of Hormuz and provide some guarantees about Iran's nuclear program. And Iran seems to be slow walking that. I think they feel like every day that goes by, they gain more leverage, right? Because they keep the Strait of Hormuz closed and gas prices go up. So I think this is Trump trying to increase the pain for them, at the same time as they're increasing pain for him. But I don't know. I don't see any real hurry from the Iranians to reach a deal. And right now, the deal seems to be slowly moving in their direction.
How do we say the ceasefire is still in effect?
It's one of those funny situations in diplomacy where everybody with a straight face will say something that's not true at all. We have ceased fire even as we are firing. I think they really don't want the United States and Iran. Neither one of them wants a return to full-scale war, especially Trump, because it creates this open-ended thing where he doesn't have a way to get what he wants out of this military conflict. And so I think he would rather just forget about it and have it end.
What kind of pressure is President Trump getting from his right flank, say Ted Cruz and senators like that?
People are, I think the main pressure that he's getting is not ideological, but sort of self-interested, that people see the weight this is putting on Republicans' chances in the midterm elections. They see how unpopular Trump is becoming, how much the $5 gas is weighing on his chances and Republicans' chances more generally. So I think they would like to see him end this war and find a way to reopen the strait as soon as possible. Even people that are generally hawkish on Iran, I think their main worry now is that he is going to give away too much to the Iranians just to find a way to get out of it. But there's not really anybody that I can see calling for a resumption of military action.
David, let's talk about the so-called anti-weaponization fund the Justice Department awarded the Trump administration for people who the president claims were unfairly targeted by the Biden administration. This is getting a lot of pushback.
It is. So this originated, as we talked about last week, when Trump sued his own IRS and said that he wanted $10 billion in damages because an IRS contractor had leaked his tax returns. What happened was they settled it. Trump and his own government settled this lawsuit. And they used this thing called the judgment fund or the settlement fund. It's basically a Justice Department fund that is unlimited. It's funded by taxpayers, but there's sort of no limit on how much money could be taken out of it. And they used that to create what they call this weaponization fund. It's $1.8 billion that Trump wants to give to a committee set up basically by his own attorney general to give away money to people who were harmed by the Biden and Obama administration. So they have said that could include January 6th rioters who were prosecuted under Biden. It could include people like Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, other Trump allies who were, investigated or charged with various crimes. There's really no control over it, and it is taxpayer money. So you started to see some response from the public, but also from Republicans in Congress saying, we will have swallowed a lot of things from Trump, but this is maybe too far.
When we read about the tax returns not being auditable for President Trump, his family, and his companies, is that purely retroactive? Or my confusion here is some people are saying he can't be audited in the future either. What is the story here, David?
That's right. Well, that's another part of this settlement is that President Trump, as you may remember, has been under tax audit for years because of a apparently possibly dubious claim that he made that could have saved him $100 million a few years ago. That audit's gone on forever. It was paused while he was president and then is, I suppose, paused again. And what the Justice Department has said here is basically that he will face no tax enforcement action for that. His companies, his family members will face no tax enforcement. Basically that he can't be audited or charged with any sort of crime for things that he already did on his taxes. It sounds like a pardon, and I think it is effectively a pardon while Trump is in office. This Justice Department has said that they will not make any effort to enforce tax law against Trump. it's not a pardon in the way that an actual pardon is, in that it's not binding on future Justice Departments. Future Justice Departments could say, well, we didn't agree to this, or we don't think that there's something that anybody could have agreed to, and we're going to enforce the law in the future. I'm sure that would be a legal fight, but it's not something that's open and closed. It's got to be, that forecloses any chance of tax enforcement later on.
Let's talk about something else that's become quite controversial, the repainting of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. There's now a lawsuit against the Trump administration over this. Bring us up to speed.
We've talked about this a couple times. Trump, starting in April, hired a company through a no-bid contract to repair the bottom of the Lincoln Memorial, to basically put waterproofing material on the bottom of that pool and to paint it blue. The blue part is what's controversial. Trump has said it's going to look like a beautiful swimming pool, and he's posted pictures of it looking sort of like a turquoise Caribbean waters. But you're not allowed to change monuments, icons like that in the National Mall without some sort of formal review. And so there's a nonprofit called the Cultural Landscape Foundation that's saying, you Trump administration bypass the rules that are supposed to preserve the look of the mall. And the Trump administration's response actually has been interesting. It's been basically that the president is wrong. When he says it's going to be a big, bright, beautiful blue, and everyone will see how blue it is, they're wrong. It's not going to look blue at all. It's just going to look dark and reflective the way it always has. So there were arguments in that case on Thursday before a judge about a temporary restraining order. The nonprofit has asked the judge to stop the repainting in its tracks. And I think we'll find out this week whether the judge will say yes. He did not seem inclined to say yes last week. He seemed like he was saying, well, okay, I want to think about this some more, but, I don't see any reason to stop the painting now, because if I rule later that this is the wrong paint color, you can just paint over it.
So we have a president who tears down the east wing of the White House, who changes the reflecting pool. And, of course, we have this triumphal arch that he's considering building in Washington, D.C. Is the order of a judge really going to matter much to President Trump?
The orders of judges have mattered to him so far. I mean, the reconstruction of the White House ballroom, or the construction of the White House ballroom, was paused because of a judge's ruling earlier this year. I think that will be overturned by an appeals court. But yes, it has seemed to stop them in their tracks. But you're right. The interesting thing about this is, as we've talked about, Iran, inflation, gas prices, there's all kinds of problems in the world. And President Trump has seemed in that time of crisis to become really focused on these smaller things. I mean, they're big to us here in D.C., but they are relatively small in terms of the country's problems. Repainting a reflecting pool, building a ballroom, sort of construction projects within sight of the White House. His world seems to have shrunk, and the grandiose ambitions that he had for the whole country are now just sort of within the 3 square miles around his home.
David, we always appreciate your time. Thank you so much. New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold.
Thank you, David. It's 5:54 now. Let's take a look at the forecast. We'll have a lingering shower or two, but we dry out and warm up a bit today. Partly sunny by the afternoon, a high of 63. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and 73. A lot of sun on Thursday as well. 77 the forecast high. Right now, it's 51 and cloudy in Seattle.
This is KIRO News Radio, and coming up in the next hour, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has details on the 19-year-old arrested for a triple shooting at a nightclub on Capitol Hill.
And at 6:15, Sully has a choke point. More construction happening along 520 at Montlake this weekend. Sully will have the latest.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, and more. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stay on budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account. Additional fees may apply. Member FDIC.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it. But I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Lumen Field on Seahawks game days is your key to unlocking premium hospitality, views, and experiences. Host a memorable event in your own private game day suite. Or see an up-close, unique perspective from sideline and end zone field seats. To learn more about all the ways you can elevate your Seahawks game day at Lumen Field, visit Seahawks.com/premium.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is on now. Don't miss out on 0 down, no payments all summer, and exclusive deals through May 31st. Visit them in Puyallup and Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Polls now open in Texas, and the biggest of the runoff races being decided today puts incumbent Republican Senator John Cornyn against State Attorney General Ken Paxton. President Trump endorsed Paxton in his bid to unseat Cornyn. The winner faces Democratic nominee James Tallarico in November. A new message from Iran's supreme leader this morning declaring America will no longer have a safe place in the region. This after the U.S. hit Iranian targets in what's being described as self-defense strikes. Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying the Strait of Hormuz will be opened one way or another, with the U.S. and Iran still negotiating over a peace deal.
It's going to take a couple days to settle on even down to the disagreements over a word, sentence. So we'll have to work through that.
A deadly train crash this morning in Belgium. A minibus carrying students to a school for special needs was hit on the tracks. 2 of the students on the bus were killed. This is ABC News. New Jersey Democrats expressing new concerns about an ICE detention facility in Newark, where a hunger strike is now underway.
While attempting to tour the Delaney Hall Migrant Detention Facility in Newark, New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill says,
"We've been working with ICE to get into the facility. I was just denied that."
Senator Andy Kim visited Delaney Hall over the weekend, speaking with those inside.
There is a woman that was pregnant that says she's not getting full OBGYN care. There's a woman that had a miscarriage that said that she did not get the care that she needed.
Delaney Hall is privately run with about 300 detainees. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Remember the cave boys in Thailand? Well, another search is now underway for 7 villagers trapped inside a flooded cave in the East Asian country of Laos. They had been looking for gold when heavy rain flooded the exit to the cave. Some of the same rescuers who helped in Thailand are said to be helping out in Laos as well. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
6:02 now here on KIRO Newsradio, Seattle's Morning News. Here's what's happening.
Pierce County deputies continue searching for whoever robbed and shot a 17-year-old boy to death in Parkland. Investigators have identified the victim as Braylon Diaz, killed in front of his girlfriend.
Tacoma police have arrested a woman after a deadly stabbing. A man drove himself to a hospital Sunday night, died of his injuries. Detectives later found the crime scene on South M Street.
Adams County deputies are investigating a mid-air skydiving collision near Ritzville. One skydiver died at the scene Sunday, another was hurt.
Chelan County offices are offline this morning after a malware attack shut down every department's networks and phones. IT teams still working to restore service with no word on when systems come back.
And there is some good news on the roads. Traffic deaths in Washington dropped for a second year in a row. The State Traffic Safety Commission counted 659 deaths in 2025, more than a 10% drop from 2 years ago.
At 6:03, let's get a look at traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we're off to the races on this Tuesday morning. Definitely seeing a lot of action early today. If you're on northbound I-5, you're going to hit the brakes right around 272nd as you make your way up out of Federal Way. Already over 40 minutes to make the drive from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway over 40 as well, because with the brake lights we have in Auburn, plus a little bit more at the north end. Renton to Bellevue is not quite 20 yet, so we're not too bad there. Northbound I-5 really struggling getting into the JBLM main gate today. We're looking at about a 40-minute trip already, maybe more from Olympia to Tacoma. Coming down from the north end, a little slowing in Marysville, and then 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. The Lake Bridges, though, are still in fine shape. This traffic report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 fireworks nights this season. Presented by T-Mobile. The first show, May 29th. Get your tickets, mariners.com/fireworks.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
It's 6:04. Seattle police have arrested the man wanted in a triple shooting outside a Capitol Hill nightclub.
In court documents, investigators say they saw the suspect get into a fight, then pull out a gun and start firing.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with details on the arrest.
Yeah, Charlie, he is 19 years old from Tacoma. He has not been charged yet, but he's in jail right now on suspicion of assault on $1.5 million bail. Seattle Police Detective Brian Pritchard told me surveillance video showed the suspect got into a fist fight with the victim outside a nightclub just last week.
As suspects were leaving, at least one of them fired shots back toward the club.
And police say that is the one who is in jail right now. In court documents, police say they knew the suspect as well. Officers did. They say they arrested him just 2 weeks ago for possession of a firearm. 2 other victims were shot outside that nightclub as well. All the victims are recovering, police say. We expect charges could be filed by tomorrow.
All right, Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 6:05.
The Pierce County Sheriff's Office is still looking for the people who robbed a teenage boy in Parkland, then shot him to death in front of his girlfriend. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin has more details.
Around 7 o'clock Sunday evening, a car drove past, did a U-turn, then came up beside the couple, demanding they come closer to the car.
Essentially, they robbed him of a gold chain that was around his neck and then shot him and took off. Just absolutely senseless crime.
Deputies say he died from those injuries. They tell us that this was a random robbery and shooting.
The victim now identified as 17-year-old Braylon Diaz.
Bail has been set at $5,000 for suspended Longview School District Superintendent Karen Cloninger. The Seattle Times reports she appeared in court Friday after being arrested on suspicion of witness tampering, failure to report, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. The allegations stem from Mark Morris High School sexual abuse investigation, where prosecutors say Cloninger directed staff to keep concerns in-house and withheld information from police for more than a month. A judge also issued a no-contact order barring her from students and listed witnesses. Clonenger's next hearing is set for June 10th.
We have more on the Chelan County malware attack we told you about. Forced them to shut down all government networks, computers, and phone systems yesterday morning. The breach was detected about 10 o'clock, and the shutdown affected every county department. IT teams are working with security partners to restore the systems, but there's no timeline for when services will be back online. An update is expected today.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, here we are. It's Tuesday, May 26th. If you got to sleep in yesterday, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah, we were here, and we're here today. And hopefully, if this is the start of your work week, you're going to have a good one.
Yep, he's Charlie Harger. I'm Manda Factor. Chris Sullivan is here, keeping an eye on traffic every 10 minutes.
And Sully, by the way, you have a choke point coming up soon, right?
No, yeah, I do. We're going to have another new lane shift and alteration for drivers who use the Montlake exit coming off of I-5 to 520.
And this time it's personal, right?
Oh, it's always personal.
That'll be coming up at 6:15. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And also coming up, News Nation's Mills Hayes will break down what we're expecting as President Trump receives a medical checkup today.
It's 6:07. Today marks day 2 of what's called the 100 deadliest days of summer. It's when deadly car crashes spike for younger drivers. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
This year so far, there have been 167 deadly crashes and more than 700 possible serious injury. There were a total of 24,805 crashes so far. Now, experts blame this deadly period on a number of driving issues like distracted driving, as well as not using seat belts, as well as substance abuse issues, and much more. They're urging all drivers to be careful when they're out on the road, especially for the next 3 months.
Canadian investigators are asking people in the Pacific Northwest to help identify a woman found dead along a Vancouver beach nearly 4 years ago. The kayaker discovered off Spanish banks in 2022 carried no ID, just a backpack, some candy, a sweater, and insulin. Detective Rebecca Matson with Vancouver Police says a new breakthrough came after testing on her sweater.
Pollen that was indigenous to the Portland, Seattle areas, so presumably had spent time there. There was not pollen found on it that would be native to BC.
The woman, believed to be in her 30s and of African descent, died from severe anaphylaxis, not drowning. Foul play is not suspected.
It's 6:09 now. Adams County deputies are investigating a mid-air skydiving collision that left one person dead, another injured. This happened on Sunday. Dispatchers received the call just after 5:30 from the 2000 block of East Schessler Road, where emergency crews found 2 skydivers in need of medical help. Deputies say one skydiver died at the scene. The second was taken to the hospital for further treatment. The victim's identity is being withheld until family is notified.
A barking dog is being credited with alerting a family to a house fire early yesterday morning near the Edmonds Marina. South County Fire says the call came in just after 4:45, reporting a home filled with smoke. Firefighters arrived within minutes and found flames in the garage. 3 adults and 3 dogs had already escaped safely. Crews knocked down the fire in about 10 minutes, but smoke damaged the entire home. No word yet on what started it.
Journalists at 4 Washington newspapers are walking off the job today. The one-day strike starts at 7 this morning. It involves union workers at the Tacoma News Tribune, the Bellingham Herald, the Olympian, and the Tri-City Herald. It's a protest of what they call unfair labor practices by owner McClatchy Media. Workers are pushing for better pay and common sense rules around artificial intelligence. They've been in contract talks with a new company for about a year now.
Everett firefighters pulled off an unusual technical rescue yesterday morning after a man jumped into the chimney of a vacant home. Police were originally called about 9:15 for a trespassing complaint when smoke was spotted coming from the chimney on 1300 block of Broadway. Officers say the man climbed onto the roof and slid about 10 feet down before refusing help. Fire crews had to break open the fireplace and surrounding wall to safely pull him out. He was taken into custody and transported to a hospital for evaluation.
Amanda, when I come in bright and early in the morning, dark 30, I'm always happy to see when I see David working on a script for the Seattle Mariners.
Because he only does it when they win.
Yeah, that's a little tell. So the Mariners are back on track as they win a big game and a big series against the division-leading Athletics. Seattle's offense took control early, scoring 6 runs in the third, including this missile from Luke Raley.
swung on, blasted right field. This is on its way. It is gone. Luke Raley thunders a 2-run home run into the Mariners bullpen.
That was one of 4 home runs from the M's last night. They obliterated the A's 9-2. Game 2 of the series in Sacramento takes place tonight. First pitch at 6:40. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
There have been arrests made in the robbery ring that targeted famous athletes, with the U.S. requesting extradition. Here's News Nation's Marky Martin with the update.
Police in Chile say that they have arrested 3 people suspected of participating in that burglary ring targeting superstar athletes in the United States and abroad back in 2024. Well, authorities say they arrested individuals connected to break-ins at the homes of Travis Kelce, the Milwaukee Bucks' Bobby Portis, a Dallas Cowboys player. Those arrests come months after a 4th man pleaded guilty to breaking into Kelce's homes, as well as the homes of Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow.
The thieves stole jewelry, high-end watches, and souvenirs such as sports jerseys, among other belongings.
At 6:12, let's get a check on the weather. We're joined by KIRO 7 pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard. Well, we have a little bit more to go through, but we have some promising weather ahead, right, Nick?
I think so. I mean, it's really going to warm up. Even today, you'll feel it get a little bit warmer. But today, what we're talking about is some rain this morning, and then you see sunshine this afternoon. But really, to start things off, there is rain on the radar from about Bellingham to Olympia. It will slowly decrease, and by about late morning, I am thinking you'll find just some spotty showers around, say, Seattle, Tacoma South, and then into the afternoon, we dry out. So just look for some showers to start the day and then increasing sunshine. By noon, again, a few showers around Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, but not much. And then we're drier later today with highs getting into the low 60s. Expect to find some warmer weather tomorrow. I think you're going to be at least into the low to mid 70s with sunshine, maybe some morning fog early. And then you'll find upper 70s for Thursday, which is fantastic, before we see some cooler conditions and maybe even some pockets of showers overnight into Friday. And then Friday, we're down to the low 60s with a few showers around. This weekend, mostly cloudy on Saturday, maybe a sprinkle or two, but not much. And then we're in the 60s, and then we'll see increasing sunshine for Sunday. So we're going to start off cool and wet. We have warmer weather for the rest of the work week before Friday, and then Friday's down to the 60s, and then we bounce back up again for Sunday. So it's kind of split. We get a little bit of everything, but it won't be as cool as yesterday, which was only 60 degrees.
Yeah, I felt every degree of that.
Yeah.
Especially after a nice warm Sunday. But, you know, it's Memorial Day weekend. You can't have 3 days in a row of perfect weather.
I mean, that's Sullivan law right there.
Yeah. I don't make the law. Sully is the law.
Exactly.
Right now, it's cloudy and 54 in Seattle.
6:13, speaking of Sully, time for a check on traffic.
I'm also in charge of enforcement.
Yes.
So not only do I make the law, I'm basically Judge Dredd.
I am the law.
Pretty much. Now you get to choose your pick, Urban or Stallone. Discuss. Looking at the drive now, we are looking at a relatively normal commute, a little heavier maybe than you might have expected to start early. I mean, we're really heavy on northbound I-5 through the DuPont area. Overall, over 40 minutes to make it to Tacoma today. So that's a little slower than I'd like to see. Then Federal Way to Seattle's already over 40 minutes with brake lights getting up from 320th to about 272nd. Valley Freeway over 40 as well, really heavy in Auburn and at the north end part of that drive. And then Renton to Bellevue's already up to 20 minutes as the S-curves have activated a little early. Lake bridges, though, are good. Coming down from the north end, a little slowing in Marysville, a little bit across the Trestle, and then the normal stuff the rest of the way. We're already over 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2. I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Getting to the University of Washington from eastbound 520 is changing this weekend. A new temporary off-ramp is opening after a weekend closure.
Sully is back to tell us all about it.
And it's as if it isn't hard enough to merge over to Montlake from eastbound 520 now with the new lane configurations we have coming away from I-5. Drivers are now going to have a little less room to do it come next Monday. The Washington Department of Transportation is opening a new temporary off-ramp to Montlake.
They are shifting the off-ramp to Montlake to a new location. And the reason why they need to do that is just to expand the work zones as we continue building this project.
If you look at the YouTube live video that we have there, basically that little strip in the middle is where that new ramp is going to be going. WashDOT Steve Pierce says drivers will have to exit just a little bit sooner. The ramp's actually a little straighter shot to Montlake, taking drivers off the freeway along the new construction platform for the new Portage Bay Bridge.
It is actually a little bit straighter than it is now. There's still a one-lane exit like it is now. It will be. And then once you get a little bit further up the off-ramp, it'll go into other lanes.
Pierce says this new off-ramp will actually be able to hold a few more cars, so maybe that will help with the daily backups we have getting off there at Montlake. He's also hoping that it'll only take drivers one time through to get it.
About 14,000 a day are exiting as they go eastbound between I-5 and Montlake. So a good percentage of people are exiting there. It's just going to be a new exit. And as usual, if we stripe it right, and we will, people will be able to use that new off-ramp.
Simplest thing to do, and I know this sounds simple, not being condescending, just follow the car in front of you.
I think the challenge might be if you're coming from northbound I-5 to eastbound 520, you'll have just a little bit less time to be able to merge to your right to get to Montlake.
Now, to make all this happen, WashDOT will be closing eastbound 520 from I-5 to the east side all weekend. Closure starts late Friday night, lasts through early Monday morning. Drivers will not be able to access eastbound 520 from Montlake either. That ramp will be closed. The entire ramp system there will be shut down this weekend. But that's not the last big closure for Montlake coming up in the next little bit. Drivers on that new temporary off-ramp to Montlake, once that goes into effect, the contractor then needs to take down the old one.
If you look at it from here, you can see the existing ramp that drivers are using. That needs to be removed so that we can start shifting things around to create a work zone. So that's going to be a pretty high impact. We're looking at probably August, a 7-day closure.
So put that on your calendar, a full week-long 7-day closure of Montlake coming in August. Hopefully after Seafair. Yeah. They don't have the schedule for that put together just yet, but that one will be following closely. We have about 5 more years of construction from Montlake over to I-5 before we can finally put a bow on the entire 520 project.
And then they need to build a new bridge.
Yes, and a new lake.
And a new lake. You had sent out an email to everybody at Bonneville, Seattle here about upcoming closure. Is this related to that, or is this something else?
No, this is different. The email, that's Revive I-5.
Oh, okay.
And that I'm going to be focusing on next week, because next weekend, not this coming weekend, we're going to be shutting down northbound I-5 entirely across the Ship Canal Bridge as they tear down that work zone to get ready to reopen everything for the World Cup.
Before the World Cup.
Okay,
yeah.
so I've got a big story coming up on that here next week. But what's going to happen after that is the lane, once the World Cup is over in July, they're going to shut the freeway down again, put the work zone back in place. But this time they're going to be working on the other side of the freeway. And so for those of us at the station, or those of you who live on the East Lake neighborhood, you will not be able to get onto northbound I-5 at Harvard Street anymore. That ramp just here above the station, that's because that's going to be the side of the freeway they're working on. So I sent that out to everybody who works here at the station to remind them.
Got a fun 6 months in front of them.
Yeah, just to be prepared that you're going to have to find a different way to get onto northbound I-5 from the East Lake neighborhood, either going south down into Mercer and working your way back up, or going up through the U District.
All right, well, we'll have more details coming up next week on that.
Definitely.
Can't let people know early enough. All right, thank you, Sully. It's 6:19.
New guidelines from the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology are shifting focus to otherwise healthy Americans and how early intervention might decrease their risk for heart disease. Healthy diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management are still the best starting point, but earlier additions of a statin, the most common lipid-lowering medication, might help some people stay heart healthy. The recent recommendations highlight a new screening tool called Predicting Risk of Cardiovascular Disease Events, also known as PREVENT, and additional testing options including routine monitoring of lipoprotein A. Lipoprotein A, often called LPA, is a type of particle that carries cholesterol through the blood and can leave some behind in the walls of your blood vessels. It has an extra protein on it that can make it easier to build up in your arteries, increasing your risk for heart attack or stroke. LPA levels are mostly genetic, so the guidelines now recommend that doctors measure them in all patients at least once to find out who might have a higher hidden risk for heart disease. With this Medical Minute, I'm Jacqueline Lee.
President Trump will be having what the White House is calling his routine annual dental and medical exam today. Recently, he's been spotted with bruising on his hands, swelling of his legs, leading to concerns about his physical health.
More recently, President Trump has also faced scrutiny after appearing tired or drowsy during public events. His doctor in the White House also are reiterating that the president remains fully fit to carry out his duties. However, a new Washington Post ABC News Ipsos poll shows that 40% of those surveyed believe that the president has the mental sharpness to serve effectively as president. That's down from 47% last fall. 44% said that they believe he's in good enough physical health to serve, down 10% since September.
Today's exam is the president's third in the past 13 months.
Officials in Southern California say they have avoided a worst-case scenario and a chemical tank is no longer at risk of exploding. News Nation's Marky Martin has the update.
First responders say a crack in the tank helped relieve pressure and temperatures enough to avoid an explosion. That tank holds thousands of gallons of chemicals used to make plastic parts for aircraft. Officials stress there still is a small risk of fire or a leak. Now they're allowing some of the 50,000 people evacuated to return back home, and about 16,000 people are still under evacuation orders.
California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency in Orange County over the weekend and said he requested President Trump issue an emergency declaration.
Iran is accusing the U.S. of violating the ceasefire agreement following those strikes that the U.S. military describes as self-defense. Here's News Nation's Robert Sherman.
Iran does not see it that way. Their foreign ministry weighing in on all this, saying the United States committed a gross violation of the ceasefire in the region in the past 48 hours. Iran holds the U.S. regime responsible for all consequences resulting from these aggressive and unjustified actions. The very heart of this, it shows just how significant the Strait of Hormuz is. Opening those shipping lanes, who controls it militarily and through economic sanctions as well.
The handling of the strait is one of two key elements still being negotiated by the U.S. and Iran. The other major sticking point, Iran's nuclear program.
6:23, that's time for a traffic update. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Here's Sully.
Yeah, I want to thank the text line for reminding me this one. It kind of slipped through. I was wondering why it was so heavy on northbound I-5 through JBLM. I knew there had to be some kind of construction going on. I didn't realize the DuPont gate is closed at JBLM for a WashDOT project right there. It went through its normal weekend closure, but then didn't open back up after Memorial Day today. That gate is going to be closed until Tuesday, June 9th. So this is a 2-week closure of that. So expect elevated travel times on northbound I-5 through that JBLM area here for the next 2 weeks. Right now, we're already up at 45 minutes to make that drive from Olympia to Tacoma. That's about 10 minutes slower than it should be. Once you get through there, we're going to have a relatively normal drive through Tacoma, up the hill to 18, and then Federal Way to Seattle's about 45 to start the day. So we're really kind of running behind there. Valley Freeway off and on braking out of Sumner up through Auburn, over 45 minutes to start your day there, and then Renton to Bellevue's over 20. Coming down from the north end, braking in Marysville at the main Marysville gate, the exit there at 528 to 529. So plan on a little slowing there, and then about 45 minutes already from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. So we are off to the races. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Occasional showers today. We dry out and get partly sunny this afternoon. High in the low 60s. Tomorrow looks to be sunny and 73. Warm on Thursday, 77 the forecast high. Friday and Saturday, we start to look at the chance of showers again. Right now, light showers above Seattle, Marysville, and Tacoma. It is 49 downtown.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more on the public outrage in North Seattle along Aurora, where violence continues to disrupt the surrounding community.
And your opening bell report coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Sometimes injuries can happen when you least expect them.
What broke my shoulder was reaching for my phone. I was trying to get the phone away from my cat.
That's how Heather tore her rotator cuff.
There was that hope. I was like, maybe this will heal on its own. And I waited a little bit, and it was not getting better.
She just couldn't take the pain anymore, so she saw Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
By the next day, my shoulder was already doing better. I have my arm back again, which was just wonderful.
Seems like she made the right choice.
I'm so glad I didn't do surgery.
So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
I said to him at our last appointment, I was like, you better not retire because I want to know if anything else goes wrong with my body. You're there to be able to fix it because he's a miracle worker.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:30. A group of residents in North Seattle are going to extremes in the name of keeping their neighborhood safe from ongoing gun violence.
This is after 95 shootings in the past 2 years. They installed large steel planters over the weekend to block their streets because they say city leaders aren't doing enough. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the latest.
Yeah, Charlie, you can check out those roadblocks right now on our YouTube feed. They are near Aurora Avenue North and North 98th Street. Residents also posted a letter on those roadblocks saying they built them to protect their families, protect their homes, and their livelihoods from this. I mean, that's a recording from the neighborhood. Neighbors like Mike say they hear gunfire like that every single week on their streets. The most recent shooting was Saturday morning near the Burgermaster at 98th and Aurora, where police recovered some 40 shell casings.
We're able to hear gunfire, and we're also able to hear the traffic driving through.
That traffic, Mike mentioned, are vehicles speeding through their neighborhood with people inside shooting at each other. Police say they have many of those shootouts are turf wars over prostitution in that area. However, those residents claim after the shooting last summer, the Seattle Department of Transportation said they would close several streets a block from Aurora, and the mayor's office never gave SDOT that order, according to residents, so they blocked those streets themselves.
These barriers, while not perfect, are honestly the most reasonable solution.
After Saturday's shooting, Mayor Katie Wilson and police said police are immediately increasing patrols, and she's deploying the city's gun violence reduction unit. This is the same area, though, Amanda and Charlie, where the city implemented the SOAP law, the stay out of areas of prostitution law. It banned people arrested in those areas and created higher penalties if they returned. But, City Attorney Erica Evans, she ran on this, and now she's in office, and she will not enforce SOAP laws because she says banishing people from those areas just does not work.
And what's happening is the shooting doesn't contain itself to Aurora Avenue at night where there are a bunch of businesses nearby. You've got pimps shooting at each other, racing down those side streets, and that's what has neighbors so frustrated. They're getting their homes, their fences, their outdoor furniture shot up. Just last weekend they had 2 bullets nearly hit a 5-week-old baby. So residents there are just frustrated and fed up.
Bullets go pretty fast, and they don't really stop very quickly either.
All right, Luke Ducey reporting live.
A 19-year-old accused of shooting 3 people outside a Capitol Hill nightclub made his first court appearance yesterday. The shooting happened May 18th outside Cultura after what police describe as an argument between security and a group of suspects. Court documents say surveillance video shows the teen punching someone, walking away, then returning to continue the confrontation before opening fire. 3 people were shot, including one victim shot in the abdomen. Prosecutors are asking for $1.5 million bail. A charging decision is expected tomorrow.
It's 6:33. Chris Sullivan is here with traffic on the 3s.
And we've added 20 minutes to our drive on northbound I-5, trying to make it out of the Lacey area through JBLM. We have about 7 miles worth of off and on slowing today, and that's for everybody who, like me, forgot that the DuPont gate at JBLM is closed and will be so for construction until June 9th. I think today's the first day, and people were like, oh, oops. They got to go somewhere else, so it'll probably get better from here on out. But today, the damage is done. 50 minutes plus from Olympia to Tacoma. Once you get through that, it's not too bad in Tacoma. A little slowing at the Puyallup River Bridge. And then really from 320th up past 272nd, we're really heavy already. Plus the north end, too. So we're already 50 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. Probably 10 minutes slower than you expected for 6:30 in the morning. Valley Freeway, we're seeing some brake lights here and there. 45 to 48 minutes on that trip. And Renton to Bellevue's 25. Coming down from the north end, we do have braking past the Tulalip Outlet Mall on southbound I-5 through the merging. Give yourself a couple of extra minutes there, and then kind of a standard 50-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, as we're really seeing the brake lights now out of Snohomish County. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
Seeing some showers in spots this morning. Should dry out for the afternoon and becoming partly cloudy. 63 today. And then tomorrow and Thursday look terrific. Mostly sunny. 73 tomorrow, in the upper 70s Thursday. And then all the way back down to 61 on Friday. That's our next chance of showers as well. Right now in Seattle, cloudy at 52.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. New U.S. missile strikes on Iran Monday have dampened hopes for an impending end to the broader conflict. As a result, oil prices have bounced nearly 3%. Benchmark Brent crude was closing in on $100 a barrel overnight. Wall Street's investors returned to the trading pit this morning, intent on continuing last week's run for the record book. The Dow cruises into the holiday-shortened week higher by nearly 300 points. S&P and NASDAQ futures also were looking up. Ferrari has powered up its first all-electric car. The four-door Luce was developed with the help of iPhone designer Johnny Ive. It'll go on sale later this year for about $640,000. Shares in Ferrari fell 6% after the launch. What serves as a side hustle for many is serious business to others. Now drivers for Uber and Lyft in Massachusetts have decided to form a union. The App Drivers Union says it will represent nearly 70,000 people in collective bargaining. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Consumer spending continues to support the U.S. economy, but indicators show shoppers are becoming more selective. Here's News Nation's Leo Lando.
Strong economic indicators like GDP growth and NASDAQ's double-digit revenue for Q1 would indicate U.S. finances are in a good place. Still, some analysts say that a volatile market, tariffs, and the war in Iran are some of the factors hurting consumer confidence. So some investors and analysts, they also warn parts of the market may be overvalued, and some are worried about AI-driven stock hype, which they say could mirror aspects of the dot-com bubble that burst in 2000.
The latest consumer confidence index is expected to be out today.
No real clarity on the status of the U.S.-Iran peace talks and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. ABC News business correspondent Rebecca Jarvis at a New York City gas station on how gasoline prices are doing.
While oil prices have dropped, it's going to take a minute to flow through to prices at the pump. And in fact, we really need to see more clarity with the Strait of Hormuz reopened for investors to feel a sense of confidence that prices will continue to trend lower. That confidence would need to show multiple tankers making it safely through the Strait of Hormuz to really send prices below $4 a gallon nationwide.
Right now in Washington, the average price is $5.76 a gallon, according to AAA. King County, even higher, $6.02 a gallon this morning.
Newsroom workers at some of the biggest papers in the state are on strike today. Reporters at the News Tribune, the Olympian, the Bellingham Herald, and the Tri-City Herald will walk off the job at 7 o'clock this morning. A one-day strike over unfair labor practices by owner McClatchy Media. The 31 union workers want fair wages and clear rules on how artificial intelligence is used in the newsrooms. They've been bargaining for a new contract for a year. Workers are also asking readers to boycott McClatchy websites and social media today.
The Trump administration is holding a roundtable with several states' attorneys general over concerns of fraudulent activities in federal programs. Here's News Nation's Nick Smith.
The order from the White House creating the task force says the goal is to improve eligibility checks and prepayment controls and share more data between federal, state, local, tribal, and territorial governments. A lot of this stems from Minnesota and the fraud cases News Nation has been reporting on. Last week, Amy Bach, the former head of the Minnesota nonprofit Feeding Our Future, was sentenced to more than 41 years in prison. Prosecutors said she helped orchestrate a $250 million fraud scheme involving federal child nutrition money during the pandemic.
It was one of the largest COVID-era fraud cases in the country.
Checking Wall Street, stocks are opening the day higher. The Dow is currently up about 154 at 50,734. S&P 500 is up 42. The NASDAQ up about 208.
Word here for KIRO 7. Spring showers? Yeah, right. More like spring sprinkles, downpours, hailstorms, cold snap, flooding, and sometimes even a little sun. Spring in western Washington changes day to day, even hour to hour. That's why you need experts who have decades of experience and the right tools to keep you weather ready. Watch KIRO 7 pinpoint weather forecasts in every newscast and on the KIRO 7 apps for your phone or TV.
6:39 now. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
We're going to take a look at the 7-mile backup on northbound I-5 getting out of Lacey. We'll tell you why next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know the key to a long-lasting roof is yearly maintenance. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? You can trust Guardian's licensed, insured, and expertly trained team. We offer free estimates, second opinions, and financing, giving you the peace of mind your home deserves. Call today. Our first-time customers can save $99 on our award-winning roof repair and cleaning service. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877
carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Having trouble with the government agency? Tired of dealing with red tape? I'll help you get the benefits you've earned. My office is here to help you with Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered millions of dollars for taxpayers and stand ready to help you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO Newsradio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, start treatment at Revive Washington and get a free comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, and more. Take control of your health today. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
6:43 now. We check traffic every 10 minutes on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And the most unusual slowing we have today, Charlie, is on northbound I-5 as you make your way through JBLM. We have about a 7-mile backup that extends back through Lacey. And the reason for this is the DuPont gate at JBLM is closed. It did not open after the weekend. We have a 2-week closure for construction there that started over the weekend, and it will not reopen until June 9th. And so we have about a 55-minute trip from Olympia to Tacoma, a 20-minute delay there as people are looking to use the other gates to get into JBLM. So plan on some lengthy delays there coming up from the south end. Once you're through that, it's not too bad all the way up to Tacoma, a little breaking up the hill to 18, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 50 minutes. 50 is what we have as well from Puyallup to Renton. It's super slow around Auburn up into the Kent area. Just a slight gap there at freeway speed, and then you hit it again at 180th. Renton to Bellevue's running right around 25 to 28 minutes now. Even seen slowing at the north end part of that drive getting into Bellevue already. Across the lake, no problems coming down from the north end over 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Starting to really see the slowing through Canyon Park. And for I-5 south of 145th, also very heavy up through Tulalip today and trying to get down to the Trestle. This report brought to you by Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 fireworks nights this season. Presented by T-Mobile for a show May 29th. Get your tickets. Mariners.com/fireworks.
Showers in spots this morning should dry out for the afternoon and become partly cloudy, 63 today. And then we're going to dry out for a couple of days, tomorrow and Thursday. Mostly sunny skies, 73 tomorrow and in the upper 70s Thursday. And then here come the showers again on Friday. We'll stay mostly cloudy and much cooler, only 61 Friday. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 52.
Coming up, President Trump is headed to the Walter Reed Medical Center for his annual physical this morning. A lot of concerns about his health. We'll check in with News Nation's Mills Hayes coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO Newsradio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
In my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Good morning. It's 6:47. President Trump is headed to Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Maryland this morning ahead of his annual physical exam.
Yep, the president's health is a major question mark these days. So let's check in with News Nation correspondent Mills Hayes. And the president is about to turn 80, Mills.
Hi, good morning to you guys. So the president is actually at Walter Reed right now. He's there to get a medical exam. It's supposed to be a routine medical and dental evaluation, according to the White House. So he's been there now for almost an hour. He's also expected to meet with some military leaders. That's what the White House says. But, of course, this is renewing some concern over his health just because his 80th birthday is weeks away on June 14th. And we do know that President Trump loves fast food. He has been known to sleep only 4 to 5 hours each night. And he even joked a couple of weeks ago about how he works out about 1 minute a day if he's lucky. But White House, they are insisting he is in excellent health, but this also is coming at a time when we've seen some headlines about potential health concerns, including, I'm sure you guys have seen the photos of the bruises on his hands that have been covered up with makeup. The White House has said that that was because of taking too much aspirin and also frequent handshaking. And then also more recently, we've seen the president face some scrutiny over appearing tired or drowsy during public events and in meetings, but he's denied falling asleep, even though some people have said that he was. But his doctor and the White House, they continue to remain that he's fully fit to carry out his duties. But this is his third visit to the doctor in 13 months. He had his last physical and annual evaluation last April. And then he went back in October for a follow-up where he did have a CT scan, which some people were concerned about that. But his doctor said that it was just a preventative measure to rule out any cardiovascular issues. But there is some new polling that shows that Americans are a little bit concerned. And I will say that this polling comes from the Washington Post, ABC News, Ipsos. And what it says is that about 40% of Americans believe that the president has the mental sharpness to serve effectively, but that's actually down by about 7% from last fall. And then 44% of people who responded to the survey said that they believe he is in good enough physical health to serve, but that one is actually down 10% since September. So we'll have to wait and see what the White House says about his doctor's visit today. Typically, they don't really release a lot of information unless it's positive, but that is actually kind of standard for all presidents, not just President Trump.
Do we anticipate any sort of cognitive testing today, Mills?
They haven't said anything as far as a cognitive test. I've reached out and I'm waiting to hear back from them, but we know that the president loves to tout about how he has taken the cognitive test multiple times, and the White House has talked about how he scored 30 out of 30. He was actually at a rally a couple of days ago in New York on Friday, and he was talking about how he was telling his doctor he didn't really care about being called a tyrant or a dictator, but the one thing that he didn't want to be called was dumb. And so he said that he had taken a multiple cognitive tests because of this. And he also says that he's the only president to do this. And from my research in the last couple of presidents that we've had, with President Obama and with President Bush, we haven't seen them take cognitive tests. But I will say that it's typically only something that's done after someone is over 70 years old. And so we do see President Trump take these. Now, as far as if he's going to take one today, we'll have to wait and see. And we'll have to wait and see if the White House is going to say whether or not what the results are. But typically they will come out and say, he aced it. He got a perfect score. So we'll have to wait and see for that.
We'll be watching for your updates. Thank you. News Nation correspondent Mills Hayes.
From ABC News Tech Trends. Pope Leo has released a long-awaited encyclical on artificial intelligence. It's called Magnifica Humanitas, and in it, the Pope highlights an array of concerns regarding the economic incentives of the current AI industry. In it, he calls for governments around the world to do more to regulate the development of the technology and implement protections for students. It comes after Politico reported that Amazon, Meta, and Google met with Vatican officials ahead of the encyclical's publication. And Ferrari has pulled the wraps off the Lucha, its first electric vehicle. Electric motors sit on all four wheels, good for more than 1,000 horsepower, according to the company. iPhone designer Johnny Ive was in charge of designing the car, which features disappearing taillights at the rear and an interior infotainment screen that can swivel between the driver and the passenger. Total price, €550,000, or the equivalent of $640,000. With Tech Trends, I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
ABC Entertainment News.
Strap in. The holiday weekend box office totals are in, with The Mandalorian and Grogu taking in $100 million over the three-day holiday weekend. The number 2 slot went to the surprise horror hit Obsession with just over $30 million through Monday. That's a nearly 40% increase over its debut last weekend. And 5 weeks into its theatrical run, Michael collected another $27 million.
We're on a quest. They're gonna die.
Oh, yeah.
A new trailer for the Big Bang Theory spin-off series, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, shows fan favorite Will Wheaton will appear in the show, set to hit HBO Max in July.
See, no one loves you more than me.
And happy birthday to Lauryn Hill. Her debut album in 1998, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, became the first recording by a female rapper to be certified diamond. And today, she turns 51. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
6:53 now. We check traffic on the threes. Here's Sully.
And the most unusual slowing of the day, the award goes to northbound I-5, trying to get through DuPont because of the closure of the DuPont Gate to JBLM for construction. 2-week project now underway. We're going to see braking that begins all the way in Lacey. Give yourself 20 extra minutes on that drive to Tacoma, 50 minutes out of Olympia. And then you have a relatively standard day. Tacoma up the hill to Federal Way. We're going to see brake lights here and there. Give yourself 20 to Federal Way. Federal Way to Seattle's running around 50 minutes. Under 50, but not by much, from Puyallup to Renton. Brake lights there by Pacific through Auburn. Little gap through Kent, and then a little bit more at the north end. And then Renton to Bellevue is running around 25, 26 minutes. Want to thank our good friend Rich. Let me know that we do have a crash involving a semi. Was in the center lane. Now it's over to the right-hand side. We're in Renton, southbound 405 right at Talbot. Everything over to be kind of, it looks like the exit there, the exit ramp. So plan on some delays. Again, that's southbound. Lake Bridges, fine. Coming down from the north end, standard day in Marysville. A little bit 204 and 2, trying to get to the east end of the trestle, but nothing unusual. And then we have about an hour drive already from Everett into the Bellevue area. And of course,
it's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
After the Memorial Day off, we're up to the $15 mark already early on southbound 405 out of Linwood. I-5 a little faster than that corridor by about 10 minutes. It's Everett to Everett to Seattle of about 50. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates sent right to your phone.
Seeing a few showers in spots this morning. It should dry out by afternoon, partly cloudy and 63. And then tomorrow and Thursday look great. Lots of sunshine, 73 tomorrow, 77 Thursday. And then we'll cloud up again on Friday and likely see some showers again. Only 61 Friday. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 52.
We're learning new details about a triple shooting at a nightclub in Capitol Hill over the weekend. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey will join us with that coming up.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Give your attic an overhaul with new insulation from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Stay cool all summer, slash utility bills, and boost your home's air quality. Call now and get $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Iron Man. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Attacks in the middle of a ceasefire in the Middle East. The Pentagon says it launched strikes on missile launch sites in Iran, even as talks between the U.S. and Iran continue. ABC News Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz.
Days of talks, which we've had days of talks before, it's over and over, it repeats itself. The thing that's astonishing to me is those so-called defensive strikes. Of course, we all heard they had obliterated these missile sites, that all of that was not a threat anymore because we had gotten rid of the Navy and everything else.
Runoff election day in Texas, and the big one is on the Republican side of the Senate race. Incumbent John Cornyn faces Attorney General Ken Paxton. He has the backing of President Trump. Thousands of people getting to go home in Southern California, with emergency officials now saying there is no more threat of a large explosion at an Orange County chemical storage tank. 2 kids among the 4 dead after a train hit a school bus in Belgium. This is ABC News. There's a desperate search underway for 7 people trapped inside an underwater cave. They've been trapped there for the past week in the southeastern Asian country of Laos. ABC's Sophie Flay has more.
Some 100 first responders are now joining the rescue effort, navigating narrow passages just 2 feet wide and recesses filled with muddy water. Among the rescuers, the divers who famously helped rescue children from a cave in Thailand in 2018. Back then, it took more than 2 weeks to rescue a dozen boys and their soccer coach trapped in a deep cave. Eventually, the boys had to be sedated, put in scuba gear, and taken out one by one while unconscious.
Musician Sonny Rollins has died. It's from his 1956 breakthrough album, Saxophone Colossus. He performed the tenor sax for more than 50 years, had been in poor health recently, died at his home in Woodstock, New York at age 95. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
7:02, here's what's happening. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office is searching for the people who robbed and killed a 17-year-old boy in Parkland. Investigators say Braylon Diaz was shot to death in front of his girlfriend.
A 19-year-old accused of shooting 3 people outside a Capitol Hill nightclub made his first court appearance yesterday. Prosecutors asking for $1.5 million bail, with a charging decision expected tomorrow.
Chelan County's government shut down this morning after a malware attack knocked out networks, computers, and phones. An update on when services come back is expected today.
Union journalists at 4 McClatchy newspapers walking off the job right now. Workers at the News Tribune, the Olympian, the Bellingham Herald, and the Tri-City Herald want better pay and clear rules around AI.
And the Mariners are rolling. Seattle hammered the A's 9-2 last night. 4 home runs. Game 2 tonight in Sacramento.
It's 7:03. Time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. And here's Chris Sullivan.
And we are 20 minutes behind schedule. Certainly not rolling on northbound I-5 as we make our way through the Lacey area up through JBLM because the DuPont gate at JBLM remains closed. It's closed for construction. 2-week project underway. Today's the first day, and I think a lot of people didn't realize that. Kind of caught me off guard too. But maybe tomorrow will be better. Bottom line, 50 minutes to make it from Olympia to Tacoma. Some brake lights up the 5 Hill, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 50 minutes, maybe a little more. Off and on braking, just a little gap through South Center up towards the beginnings of the Boeing Field area. Northbound 167 off and on slow through Auburn all the way up through Kent, past 277th actually. So 50 minutes for you guys. Rented to Bellevue's 40. Not only are we slow all the way up through 44th, but also at the north end. Coming southbound on I-405, we're seeing things improve now that this crash involving a semi is over to the right shoulder. Again, that's southbound 405 right at Talbot. Coming down from the north end, you've got an hour from Everett to Bellevue and about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube. Click subscribe. Get fresh video content daily.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
At 7:04, Seattle police have arrested the man wanted in a triple shooting outside a Capitol Hill nightclub.
In court documents, investigators say they saw the suspect get into a fight, then pull out a gun and start firing.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with details on that arrest.
He is 19 years old, from Tacoma, has not been charged yet, but he's in jail right now on $1.5 million bail. Police detective from Seattle, Brian Pritchard, told me surveillance video showed last week this suspect was outside a nightclub, got into a fist fight with the victim, And then this is what happened, according to Pritchard.
As suspects were leaving, at least one of them fired shots back toward the club.
And the court documents, police say they knew the suspect. They recognized him, apparently, according to officers. They arrested him just 2 weeks ago for possession of a firearm. 2 other victims were shot outside that nightclub as well. All the victims are recovering right now. We expect charges could be filed by early as tomorrow.
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 7:05.
The Pierce County Sheriff's Office is still searching for suspects and surveillance footage after a 17-year-old boy was shot and killed during a robbery in Parkland Sunday. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin with the update.
KIRO 7 was there as the girlfriend and her family created a small memorial, saying they loved the victim and he had just spent all weekend with them. Neighbors say watching the families cry on this scene was difficult. Deputies tell us this is life-changing for everyone involved.
We have 2 families' lives that have been completely flipped upside down right now. Just being on the scene last night was emotional for everybody that was responding.
Today, deputies say they want homeowners from Highway 512 all the way to Washington High School to send in video that could help them.
And the victim has been identified as Braylon Diaz.
A Skagit County man is accused of sexually assaulting a woman he met on Tinder. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
The Everett Herald reports a 29-year-old man went on a date with a 27-year-old woman who's in a wheelchair and has limited mobility. The woman says she couldn't get away or fight off the suspect, according to documents obtained by the Herald. Mill Creek police say there may have been other women who have also been victims of that same suspect. He's currently in the Snohomish County Jail on a $102,000 bail.
A nearly 4-year-old cold case in Vancouver, BC, has investigators turning to Washington and Oregon for help. A woman found near Spanish Banks in 2022 has never been identified. Detective Rebecca Matson with Vancouver Police says new testing of her sweater uncovered pollen.
She was newly arrived here. At least that sweater hadn't been out and about enough to pick up pollen, but it had pollen on it that showed she had previously been in the Pacific Northwest.
She was found with an inflatable kayak and insulin. An autopsy shows she died from anaphylaxis, not foul play. No missing person report has ever matched her.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, good morning. Tuesday, May 26th. Charlie Harger here, along with Manda Factor.
Chris Sullivan is here watching traffic every 10 minutes. Producer David Burbank in the studio with us, and that's Nick Kracher running the board and picking the music.
All right, well, we get through the showers today in the morning. Tomorrow it gets nice and sunny and 70s. We'll talk about that with Nick Allard coming up in just a few moments.
Also coming up, our weekly chat with Leland Vittert, host of On Balance, which airs weeknights on News Nation. We'll ask Leland about the latest developments in the war with Iran.
And in today's 735 commentary, what is the solution to Washington's broken tax system? Well, a lot of different opinions. I'll talk about those at 735.
It's 7:08. Some people who live near Aurora Avenue in North Seattle say they had no choice. They had to block off their streets for safety.
These barriers, while not perfect, are honestly the most reasonable solution.
They blocked off 3 streets. This comes after 95 shootings in the past 2 years. The most recent was Saturday morning near the Burgermaster at 98th and Aurora, where police recovered 40 shell casings.
If these aren't taken down by people that are angry at these barriers, it's most likely going to be taken down by the city. It's just a only amount of time.
Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says police are increasing emphasis patrols and deploying its gun violence reduction unit.
Chelan County government offline this morning after a malware attack forced officials to shut down all networks and phone lines. The attack was discovered yesterday morning. County says the full extent of the damage still unknown. While IT crews work to contain the breach, county services are limited. Leaders expect to share more information today.
A suspended Longview superintendent faced a judge Friday, one day after her arrest tied to the Mark Morris High School sexual misconduct case. According to the Times, prosecutors say Karen Cloninger discouraged staff from reporting allegations, told them not to put anything in writing, and withheld key information from investigators. Her bail was set at $5,000. A no-contact order now prevents her from interacting with students or witnesses. The district has hired an outside investigator. Several employees connected to the case are now on leave.
Newsroom workers at some of the biggest newspapers in the state are on strike today. Reporters at the Tacoma News Tribune, the Olympian, the Bellingham Herald, and the Tri-City Herald walked off the job at 7 this morning. It's a one-day strike over unfair labor practices, they claim, by owner McClatchy Media. The 31 union workers want fair wages and clear rules on how artificial intelligence is used in their newsroom. They've been bargaining for a new contract for a year. Workers are also asking readers to boycott McClatchy websites and social media today.
Grant County detectives are working to learn more about the death of a man whose body was found Sunday night at Summer Falls. The coroner's office says they're confident the remains belong to 39-year-old Anthony Mann, a missing man from Moses Lake since May 15th. His van was found days later near an irrigation canal upstream from the falls. Mann's family was notified yesterday. An autopsy will be performed this week. Detectives say the case remains under investigation, but no foul play is suspected.
Suspect is in custody connected to a deadly stabbing in Tacoma. Tacoma police say officers found a man with a stab wound on Sunday night around 8:30. They later traced the incident to the 1200 block of South M Street. Detectives are treating the case as a homicide, and they spent quite a while there gathering evidence at the scene.
It is day 2 of what law enforcement calls the 100 deadliest days for fatal traffic accidents. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports data from Washington State Patrol shows more than 24,000 crashes have happened so far this year.
The goal is to survive the summer driving and reduce the amount of crashes across the state. Teens between 16 and 18 have a fatal crash rate almost 3 times higher than drivers 20 and older. The State Patrol says the months of June, July, and August have been severe for traffic deaths. Now, in total, the Transportation Safety Commission says more than 1,200 lives were lost over summer since 2018.
Well, let's hope they're rolling, because the Mariners begin this week with a resounding win in Sacramento as the team takes down the A's 9-2. It was a unique evening on the mound for Seattle. Starting pitchers Luis Castillo and Bryce Miller teamed up for a piggyback pitching strategy. Both pitchers combining for a dominant 10 strikeout performance.
Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. Four-seamer crackling over the edge. The 6th strikeout for Luis Castillo. The Castillo flex once again. He has been on his game tonight against the A's. 6 punch-outs, no runs allowed through 4.
Okay, so that brings the Mariners within a game and a half of the lead in the division. David, I don't understand what a piggyback pitching strategy is. Help me understand.
It was not something I was super familiar with before either, but as we've talked to Riz in the past, so with Bryce Miller coming back from injury, Luis Castillo actually improving quite a bit on his pitching. Now we have 6 starters. Usually you would be lucky to have 5 really good starters. So now that kind of opens up all sorts of options. We saw Luis Castillo coming out of the bullpen in past games. Now this piggybacking, basically just no relievers having to come in. Luis Castillo doing the first bit of the game, Bryce Miller coming in and doing the rest of the game. And it worked very well, as you saw.
All right. Well, Emerson Hancock will take the mound for Seattle tonight. You can follow every pitch, 6:40 on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
I feel I'm being mocked for my optimism. I'm the one who wrote the Mariners are rolling.
I want them to be rolling. They're
I'm
within a game and a half.
I'm not sure if you can be rolling after one game.
They blew them away 9-2.
You win 10 in a row. That's rolling.
They rolled through 9 innings.
And you know what?
That's how bad our expectations are.
When we win 10 in a row, you will be like, Charlie was right when he said they're rolling.
They're rolling. It's 7:13. Let's move along, shall we? Time for a check on the forecast. For that, we bring in KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
So am I rolling?
Oh, you are always rolling.
I'm so okay. I just need the boundaries, the what have yous. A lot of old strings running around old Duder's brain here, so I'm not sure what's happening. But I can tell you, we are going to find some definitely showers to start the day, and then increasing sunshine, and a lot of it too. You're going to see beautiful weather later today. So count on seeing a little bit of sun by, say, midday, with still a few lingering showers around, say, maybe Tacoma, Olympia, Seattle, Shelton, but then increasing sun everywhere this afternoon. So it's just a little bit to start the day. It's been a couple hundredths of an inch, and I only expect maybe another couple hundredths of an inch, so I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of rain today. It's just some light stuff to get the day going, and then sunshine this afternoon. Now, tomorrow, I think we have low to mid 70s with plenty of sunshine, and then we have upper 70s and lower 80s for Thursday, and then after that, we really do cool off. By Friday, we're down to the low 60s again. Same thing Saturday. I think Friday's the day we'll see a couple pockets with showers here and there. And then Sunday and Monday, back to sun. So really, to summarize that, I think I'm rolling, which is good. I'm not really sure if that's a good or bad thing, but I like it.
You're rocking and rolling.
Oh, my God.
No?
You got to warn me to sit down before you tell me these things.
Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies. It's 51.
You're Rick, Nick is the Blutarsky of meteorology.
Yes.
Always rolling.
Hello.
Let's check in with Sully
That
for
was
traffic.
a deep cut, by the way.
Yeah, it was. I got it, though.
Thank you.
Hello.
I didn't, but okay.
It's Animal House.
Thank you.
Okay.
I've already tossed you, Sully.
Oh, so I guess I better go. I better roll. Looking at northbound I-5, we are struggling through DuPont with a 20-minute delay. JBLM gate at DuPont closed for construction, so plan on big-time delays out of Lacey. Then not too bad through Tacoma and up the Fife Hill to 18 is manageable. Federal Way to Seattle's just under an hour. Then Puyallup up to Renton about 50 minutes, maybe 52 minutes, depending on how you hit it. Renton to Bellevue about 35 now with the brake lights up past I-90 as well. Coming down from the north end, we're not too bad in Marysville or across the Trestle, but boy, about an hour drive from Everett to Bellevue, 55 Everett to Seattle, and the eastbound direction of 18 is struggling over Tiger Mountain, but nothing overly so. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
7:16 now. On Tuesdays, we call up Leland Vittert, the host of On Balance, 6 o'clock every weeknight on News Nation. Leland, good morning. Great to have you back with us today. I thought we would start with what you've been talking about in your War Notes newsletter, the situation in Iran. We're getting some mixed signals here. What is your take as these peace negotiations are underway?
Well, we're a lot farther away, I think, than President Trump and his team would like to be. And what you're seeing evolve is a understanding of where the White House wants to end up and why. In order to win this, in the eyes of the American people, the White House thinks they need three things. They need the uranium to come out or be destroyed, the enriched uranium the Iranians have. They need the Strait of Hormuz to reopen for gas prices to come down, and they need to somehow have some kind of capitulation outside from Iran. With those three things, they can spin, and perhaps rightly so, that this was a real win for America. The sacrifices, the blood, the treasure, the gas prices we have all been paying are all worth it. And if they can get all of those things, they can declare victory. And that, I think, is what you're seeing President Trump want to do.
I'm struggling to understand how we can say that there is a ceasefire in effect when they're trading strikes.
Well, it's a reasonable point. That said, I've been in a lot of Middle East ceasefires where there are skirmishes. I've been in a lot of Middle East ceasefires where there is a small faction that is causing problems, and that sort of both sides agree that that faction will be dealt with differently than the overall picture. There's no question that we're not in a full-scale force-on-force war with the Iranians anymore. Not that the U.S. wouldn't win that, but it's certainly a very different feel, I think, than the original war where you had drone strikes and missile strikes going into Arab countries, into Israel, and to U.S. bases, and the U.S. bombing Iran on an hourly basis.
President is getting some pressure from his right flank, including Ted Cruz, Secretary of State, former Secretary Mike Pompeo. What are we hearing from that side of the aisle?
Yeah, Charlie, I think it's a great point. I don't know whether any more right and left kind of matter, whether Ted Cruz is really to the right of Donald Trump, or is he more hawkish but more conservative fiscally? I have no idea about the spectrum part. But what I can tell you is you identified, I think, the biggest issue for this White House, which is that Republican senators, be it Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham on Iran, be it Tom Tillis and Cornyn and others on the weaponization fund, the $1.76 billion, or the $1 billion ballroom fund, or anything else, Republican senators are no longer afraid to buck President Trump and to publicly challenge him. That's a change. And for a guy who's sitting on a very slim majority going into the midterms, that's a very scary place to be. And it is certainly imperiling all the things the president needs to get done. He needs Supreme Court justices if somebody resigns. He definitely needs some cabinet picks from both for the Attorney General, now for the Director of National Intelligence, others possibly to come confirmed. And he wants to try to get these last few funding bills over before potentially Republicans lose the Senate.
Since you mentioned midterms, let's talk about Texas. A lot of coverage of the primary runoff election taking place there. What's the importance there?
Well, the importance is the completely self-inflicted wound of Republicans. John Cornyn was going to win re-election in a walk in Texas. And because President Trump doesn't like John Cornyn because of Cornyn's past votes and speaking out against Trump, Trump endorsed a guy named Ken Paxton, who's the morally and ethically challenged attorney general in Texas. And I mean as generous as I can. I see Charlie giggling when I said morally challenged attorney general to run. So there was a bruising primary, which cost $100 million for Republicans. Now there is this runoff today that you guys pointed out in which Paxton will almost certainly win because he got the Trump endorsement. And then Paxton goes up against James Tallarico, who's a very charismatic, very popular Democrat that has a chance to win. And even if he's not going to win, he is going to force Republicans to spend $150 million in Texas that they could have spent elsewhere in Michigan or in Ohio or in Maine, North Carolina. And all because President Trump wanted to sort of settle this personal score with John Cornyn.
Is this different than, say, the Beto O'Rourke run for Senate back a few cycles back, in terms of Democrats get very excited about a progressive candidate and they think they can turn Texas purple?
Well, remember that Beto O'Rourke got within 2 points of Ted Cruz. And there's reasons to think Texas has moved potentially more purple since then. Is the Texas turning blue or purple the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Yes. That said, if you look on Polymarket or Kalshi, so the prediction markets where people are betting on this, it's 55-45 right now that a Democrat wins in Texas. That's real. You'd probably rather be Republicans, but that doesn't mean as a Republican you should sleep easy. And the second part, I think, yes, it may be a Democratic pipe dream, but if the Democrats can force Republicans, whose only advantage right now is a money advantage, to spend $100 million or $200 million in Texas, that significantly curtails money they could spend other places.
Leland, we're almost out of time, about 30 seconds left. But in your war notes last week, you were highlighting the growing campaign of former reality TV star Spencer Pratt. Does he have a chance in L.A.?
Yes, and it's all any of my friends wanted to talk about this weekend, which I think tells you a lot.
Leland, last thing. I've always enjoyed having you on because you don't have the news anchor hair in the morning. But look at you now. You look like $1 million.
Fabulous.
Look at that. Can you tell what product you use? Because I need some tips here.
Yes, and I've tried to reach out to them to see if they'd like to sponsor me because it's at least a little bit expensive. It is called Duke Cannon Anchorman Pomade, available on Amazon. No joke, my mother got it for me as a gag gift one Christmas. It was in my stocking, and it is fabulous, and I use it every morning. If anybody from Duke Cannon's listening.
Okay. Are you the guy who won like a best hair contest when you were in local news?
Yeah. When I was in local news, and that's one thing, like, no matter what else I do in my career, I can question presidents, cover riots, save small children. I will always be known as the guy who won best hair.
The good hair guy. Leland, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
See you guys. Appreciate you.
7:23 now. We need to check traffic every 10 minutes on the threes. I'm going to open my Amazon cart right now. Sully, you are at the traffic desk. It's not as
expensive as Leland says. He said it was expensive.
Yeah.
I was like, you kidding me? This is about average. It's like $12.
Oh,
for a 4.6 ounce of news anchor classic pomade from Duke Cannon. If you want to look that up. Yeah, I mean, that's less than I pay for my J. Crew.
Will I look like Leland, though?
No, you'll look like Duke Cannon Anchorman.
I wonder how it smells.
Ooh, I don't know. I'll let you. Does your Amazon cart have smell? Mine doesn't. But you have Anchorman hair. Let's look at the drive now. We are struggling out of Lacey, heading up through DuPont. That's because the main gate, the JBLM DuPont gate is closed for construction. Today's day one of that, and I think a lot of people didn't realize that. We're at 55 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. That is a 20-plus minute delay over what you might have expected. Pierce County does have braking here and there, but it's manageable. Then Federal Way to Seattle's up to about an hour. Bumper to bumper through the Kent Des Moines Road, then it eases a bit, and then from the beginnings of Boeing Field on up, it's pretty heavy. Looking at Renton to Bellevue now, over 40 minutes, bumper to bumper from Renton all the way up past 44th. Just a slight gap, and then a little bit more over I-90. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, we've got ourselves about 50 minutes, maybe more, at least a half an hour out of the Auburn area, so not great for you guys. Coming down from the north end, not bad in Marysville, but boy, westbound across the trestle, slow. So is 204 and 2, just getting to the trestle, and then you've got about an hour and 10 from Everett to Bellevue, an hour from Everett to Seattle. So as yesterday was nice, today is naughty. I'm already thinking about Christmas. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 fireworks nights this season. Presented by T-Mobile. First show, May 29th. Get your tickets, mariners.com/fireworks.
You never know where that brain of yours is going to take
us.
No,
you don't. Or, my mouth is going to stop it from coming out.
Showers this morning, partly cloudy for the afternoon, 63, and then really nice for tomorrow and Thursday. Sunshine, 73 tomorrow. Thursday will be in the upper 70s. Right now, 51 in Seattle.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey details on that outrage along Aurora Avenue in North Seattle. And in the 735 commentary, why it seems that Democrats in Olympia are seeing a very different number in the state budget than some of us taxpayers who are fronting the bill. That's coming up at 7:35.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Washington. Start treatment and get a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. Check testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, and more. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:30. A group of residents in North Seattle are going to extremes in the name of keeping their neighborhood safe from ongoing gun violence.
After 95 shootings in the last 2 years, they installed large steel planters over the weekend to block the streets because they say city leaders aren't doing enough.
And joining us with the latest, here's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, Charlie and Amanda, every single week in this neighborhood, just off of Aurora Avenue North near North 98th Street, residents say this happens. I mean, imagine that. Just a block off of Aurora, you're in your house and you hear that every single week. Well, a lot of times they say it's a shootout between pimps on their streets in a prostitution turf war. Last week, Jake told KIRO 7 TV bullets hit his house and just missed his newborn.
Could have lost my 6-week-old beautiful baby boy.
Well, Mike says enough is enough. He claims after the shooting last summer, a shooting that is, the Seattle Department of Transportation said they'd close several streets to block traffic from Aurora heading into their neighborhoods. And the mayor's office, though, never gave SDOT that order. So they blocked the streets themselves this past weekend, and he wonders if they will last.
If these aren't taken down by people that are angry at these barriers, it's most likely going to be taken down by the city. It's just only a matter of time.
It could be. I mean, there's also a letter attached to those roadblocks that says they're there to protect their families, their homes, and their livelihoods. After Saturday's shooting, Mayor Katie Wilson said police are immediately increasing patrols in that area. But this is the same area where the city implemented the SOAP law, which stands for stay out of areas of prostitution. It bans people arrested in those areas connected to prostitution and creates higher penalties if they return. You'll remember City Attorney Eric Evans says they're not going to enforce SOAP laws because they say that banishing people does not work. This most recent shooting there happened Saturday morning, however. Amanda and Charlie near the Burgermaster and 98th in Aurora, where police recovered, get this, 40 shell casings.
Luke Ducey reporting live. 7:32 now. Los Angeles mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt is saying what he'd do with that city's homeless population if he wins office.
These people, when I unplug them and say we're not taking our tax money anymore, they're all going to Seattle where the mayor will welcome them. These are products to a lot of people. So the people that want to keep doing drugs and live on the sidewalk, a lot of these people are going to leave.
In an interview with ABC7, the former reality TV star says most people living on LA's streets are battling addiction, not homelessness. Last week, the Seattle City Council passed new rules allowing major expansions at transitional housing sites.
It's 7:33. That's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you. What's up, Sully?
Well, it's a typical heavy Tuesday out there, especially for anybody who may have had yesterday off. Maybe they have to get into the office today. We're running behind just about everywhere, but by far the worst is the northbound I-5 drive getting from Lacey through JBLM. We have a solid 6-mile backup there that extends up past DuPont. It's about an hour to to make the drive from Olympia to Tacoma. And the reason, the DuPont gate to JBLM is closed. It's closed for construction, and it's going to be that way until June 9th. Today's day one. I think a lot of people weren't aware that this was happening, and so that's why we're seeing the extra braking there as people are looking for other ways into the base. Once you're through that, the rest of Pierce County is relatively normal, and then Federal Way to Seattle's about an hour. We got about 55 minutes now from Puyallup to Renton. Very slow out of Auburn. 35 minutes to get you up into Renton. That's just 10 minutes behind just on that portion alone. And then Renton to Bellevue's 45. Lake Bridges, still fine. Coming down from Marysville, getting better. The Trestle's trying to get better. But boy, then you've got about an hour and 15-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue and about an hour and 5 from Everett to Seattle. So not a great day out there. Plus, we have a little bit of weather. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Oh, weather, you say? Yes, we do have some showers this morning. Partly cloudy by afternoon, though. We should dry out. 63 the high. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 73, warming to 77 on Thursday. And then Friday, pretty drastic change. Will stay mostly cloudy with rain returning and a high of only 61. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 51.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
Time for the 7:35 commentary. Remember that dress photo from 2015, the one that broke the internet for about a week? Half the people who looked at it saw blue and black. The other half saw white and gold. Same photo, same pixels, completely different realities depending on who was looking. Well, I've been thinking about that dress a lot this week. Andrew Villeneuve of the Northwest Progressive Institute published a lengthy rebuttal to commentaries I've done on the state budget and to remarks made recently by former Democratic Governor Christine Gregoire. In it, he says Gregoire, the Seattle Times editorial board, and I are irresponsibly comparing the state budget between eras. Irresponsible. Not wrong, not mistaken. Irresponsible. For the record, Andrew has been on Seattle's Morning News and has made this exact argument directly to our audience. His argument is that Washington's budget is actually shrinking, not growing. The way he measures it, you take what the state spends and divide it by our combined personal incomes. By that yardstick, the number has gone down since 2005. The Office of Financial Management publishes it. The math checks out. But here's where the dress changes color for me. The math assumes that when the economy grows, government is automatically entitled to grow with it. Amazon has a monster year. Microsoft has a monster year. People at the top make more money. And the state's share should go up too. If the budget does not keep pace with how rich the state is getting, progressives call that austerity. I'd be curious whether that logic runs in reverse. Let's say, I don't know, a major employee moved headquarters out of state, or Washington's economy shrinks by 5%. Would they support cutting the budget by 5%? I suspect the answer is no, and that tells me something about how the metric is being used. Gregoire said the state does not have a revenue problem. It has a spending problem. She pointed out the new 9.9% millionaire income tax and the estate tax bumped from 20 to 35%. She warned that the wealthy are already leaving. When they leave, she said, they stop paying capital gains. They stop giving to philanthropy. They stop investing here. And Gregoire is not some anti-tax crusader. This was a former Democratic governor telling Democrats to look at the numbers and listen to the warning bells. Well, this is how a lot of moderates see it. They can believe the tax code is broken and still wonder whether Olympia is making the problem worse. The budget was $33 billion when Gregoire left office in 2013. It's roughly $80 billion today. The same state that says it needs this money is also writing checks the rest of us might have to cash. Transportation projects that run late and over budget, ferries that need a rescue plan, schools that keep asking for more while families ask why the test results aren't any better, homelessness programs that cost a fortune and still leave tents on the sidewalk, public employee costs keep climbing, and debt that stays right here, even if the wealthiest taxpayers do not. I suspect Andrew and I agree on a lot, and this one thing as well. Washington's tax code is broken. He sees a state starved of resources. Gregoire, a lot of Washingtonians, see a state collecting more than ever and still asking for more. Telling someone whose property tax, sales tax, gas bill, and grocery bill have all gone up that an $80 billion budget is actually leaner than the old $33 billion budget is a hard sell at the kitchen table. Regular people do not live inside budget ratios. They live inside monthly bills. They know what they paid 5 years ago. They know what they pay now. Same dress, different color. And that's the 735 commentary for Tuesday, May 26, 2026. You can text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. You can join the chat on our YouTube Live at KIRO Newsradio, and you can leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
It's totally blue.
What?
It was always blue.
No, it's white and gold.
It's 7:39.
Totally white and gold.
It's 7:39. What's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the 25-minute delay on northbound I-5 getting through JBLM, and we'll tell you why coming up next.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead. Explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
The throw to first, and it's in time. Holy smokes, what a play by J.P. Crawford.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, blew it by him, strike 3.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
It is gone! Julio!
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss 2 great interleague matchups at T-Mobile Park. The next Mariners homestand starts this Friday with a 3-game set against Corbin Carroll and the D-backs. Then, the action continues as Juan Soto and the Mets come to town Monday, June 1st through Wednesday, June 3rd. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
7:43 now. We check traffic on the 3s. They're having an argument whether it's blue and black or white and gold.
Totally blue.
Still white and gold.
Amanda thinks we're messing with her.
No.
We're not messing with her.
White.
It's white and gold.
As I just said off the air, stop it! You broke my brain again. When was that? When did that come out last? Originally, it was 2016.
Like, 11 years ago.
Yeah,
something
okay.
like
My brain
that.
was broken then. Now it's broken again. Still golden white. Okay, we have a 20 to 25 minute delay on northbound I-5 getting out of Lacey through JBLM. The reason, the DuPont gate is closed for construction. And so a lot of people who may not have realized that was happening are stuck there trying to find a different way. You add that to the normal folks who aren't going through JBLM, and we just have a heavy drive that's close to an hour from Olympia to Tacoma. And then after that, it's not too bad in South Tacoma. There's a little slowing on eastbound 16, a little bit up I-5 and Fife, but really manageable in Pierce County. And then you have an hour drive, Federal Way to Seattle. It's about 10 minutes slow. About 55 minutes, maybe a little more from Puyallup to Renton. That drive is about 10 minutes behind schedule. Super thick up past 277th coming up out of the Auburn area. And then Renton to Bellevue, we've got about 45 minutes. It's about a 5 to 8 minute delay there. Across the lake, we're still okay. Southbound I-5, about an hour and 20 now from Everett to Bellevue. An hour of that just from Linwood. We have heavy braking now through Kirkland as well. About 20 minutes faster on southbound I-5. It's about an hour total from Everett into Seattle. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
A few showers around this morning, 63-hour high today. We should see partly cloudy skies by afternoon, and then a really nice couple of days. Tomorrow, 73 in the sunshine, 77 Thursday, and then Friday, here come the showers again. Will be much cooler, about 61 with mostly cloudy skies. Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies and 51.
All right, Sully, you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at changes coming up again for drivers who use eastbound 18 to Montlake. We'll break it down next.
Remember when you didn't have to think about energy? You just had it. Well, now it's the midday crash, the sleepless nights, the moments where you catch yourself thinking, what on earth happened to me? Well, here's the thing. Nothing's wrong with you. Your hormones just stop holding up their end of the deal. At Juvacor Health and Wellness Center, hormone replacement therapy isn't a guessing game. It starts with a real sit-down conversation with a female provider who's heard your story before because she hears it every single day. Dr. Lucy Hostetter is a board-certified physician and has spent 7 years doing one thing very well, helping women feel like themselves again. Your treatment is built around your labs, your symptoms, and your life, not some cookie-cutter protocol. And the follow-up is real, because feeling better shouldn't be a one-appointment promise. Now, with 2 convenient locations, Tacoma and Bellevue, they expanded from their flagship home at Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center. Great care is closer than ever. Stop Googling your symptoms at 2 o'clock in the morning. Start a conversation with someone who actually has the answers. JuvaCoreHealth.com. That's JUVECoreHealth.com. Feel like yourself again.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we understand improving your home is an investment in your family, and we're here to help make it easier. With our flexible financing, keeping your family safe, comfortable, and dry has never been more affordable. For more than 20 years, Guardian has earned the trust of thousands of homeowners across the Pacific Northwest with a reputation for quality that lasts. So why wait? Start guarding your home today. Call or visit GuardianRoofing.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perongo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, getting to the UW from eastbound 520 is changing this weekend.
Yep, a new temporary off-ramp is opening after a weekend closure, and Sully is here to tell us about it.
And this is going to make it very difficult for people going from I-5 to eastbound 520 to try to get off at Montlake, because they're going to have a little less room to do it come next Monday. The Washington Department of Transportation is opening a new temporary off-ramp to Montlake.
They are shifting the off-ramp to Montlake to a new location. And the reason why they need to do that is just to expand the work zones as we continue building this project.
If you're looking at our YouTube live feed, you could see that it's basically going to be cutting in through the middle of where the traffic is going. On that video, you could see the traffic going. Then you have that little open space. That's going to be the new temporary ramp. And then off to the right, you see the platform for them building the new Portage Bay overpass. WashDOT Steve Pierce says drivers will be exiting eastbound 520 a little sooner than they do today. Now, the ramp is actually a straighter shot to Montlake, taking drivers off the freeway, as I said, right there by the new Portage Bay platform bridge.
It is actually a little bit straighter than it is now. There's still a one-lane exit like it is now. It will be. And then once you get a little bit further up the off-ramp, it'll go into other lanes.
And even though this is a temporary ramp, it's actually a little bit bigger. You can handle a few more cars in that queuing area, so that should help up the daily backups there. It's also, we're hoping that it will really only take drivers one time through it to get it.
About 14,000 a day are exiting as they go eastbound between I-5 and Montlake. So a good percentage of people are exiting there. It's just going to be a new exit. And as usual, if we stripe it right, and we will, people will be able to use that new off-ramp.
And it's really simple, and not to be condescending, but your first time through it, just follow the car in front of you, give yourself plenty of room.
I think the challenge might be if you're coming from northbound I-5 to eastbound 520, you'll have just a little bit less time to be able to merge to your right to get to Montlake.
Now, to make all this happen, WashDOT will be closing eastbound 520 from I-5 to the east side all weekend long. That closure starts late Friday night, will last through early Monday morning. Drivers will also not be able to access eastbound 520 from Montlake either. That entire ramp system is going to be closed down for the weekend. But that's not the last big closure for Montlake coming up this summer. We've got a doozy coming up later this summer. With the drivers on that new temporary off-ramp to Montlake as of next week, the contractor needs to tear down the old one.
If you look at it from here, you can see the existing ramp that drivers are using. That needs to be removed so that we can start shifting things around to create a work zone. So that's going to be a pretty high impact. We're looking at probably August, a 7-day closure.
Put that on the calendar. A full week-long, 7-day closure of the Montlake ramp system coming in August. That is going to have significant impact. Now, we don't know. My best guess, and I'm hoping they'll wait till after Seafair to do this. But then again, that also comes with the beginnings of, the Seahawks and things, pre-games, preseason stuff and whatnot. So we'll be watching that really, really closely. By the way, we have about 5 more years of construction between Montlake over to I-5 as they continue to finish things there. They're building 2 new bridges over the Portage Bay area there, plus that new lid over Montlake. And if you guys haven't walked up there, driven up just north of the station there, they've taken down all the vegetation there. They're really getting to work on what is going to be, a 1.5-acre lid there over the top of the freeway just above the station here.
Sully, I've seem to remember when I was a field reporter, you and I being out on the 520 bridge as it was under construction. When did this project get underway?
I could check the date for you, but it's been at least 20 years. By the time we're all said and done, because if people forget, if they've moved here and have moved to, say, Kirkland, they have no idea what 520 look like west of 405. They've widened that whole area. They've added HOV lanes there. They've added new ramps to 405. Then they moved over a little bit further to the west, did widen the freeway there through Medina and Hunts Point, and then they started building the brand new floating bridge that went across. So they had to take down the old bridge. Then they built Montlake, and they built the lid there. Now they're going to Portage Bay. They're doing it in segments, as the money comes in. But yeah, it'll be probably more than 20. Because I remember you and I sitting there kind of on the, I think it would have been on the Medina side, looking over the overpass, looking west as they were, maybe starting the toll or starting the bridge construction there. Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, I know people used to laugh about, Tacoma, and I-5 at Tacoma has been under construction for 20, 25 years. And it was until they finished up about 2 years ago. Now JBLM's doing its thing. But yeah, this is more than 2 decades worth of work going over 520.
If you've never walked across it, it is a really cool walk.
I'll take your word on it. I don't want to drive that far, much less walk.
Okay, never mind.
But yeah, I've heard it's really nice, especially during the summer. And I have to wait to find out to see, because one of the selling points of the new Montlake lid was they have that new pedestrian and bike off ramp that takes you down past the old.
I used it yesterday.
Okay, past the old Mohai, right down there. We had joked when that was opening up that I think people are going to do a lot of engagement or wedding style photos there if you're UW grads, because you could sit there in the stadium is like presented right behind you. I mean, it's like a perfect place to take pictures if you're UW grads and you want to get the stadium in the background. Again, you can just park there and walk that really simple distance down to that really cool off pedestrian and bike off ramp.
I had to borrow a hard hat when I was at that construction scene.
Yeah, you did.
So How did that go for you?
Well, I still kind of remember the look. We didn't work at the same station, but just the look in Sully's eyes, it seared into me.
Yeah, I mean, because imagine the most ridiculous-looking small-size hat.
Yeah.
On and it being a hard hat, too. It accentuates it. I mean, it basically looked like it was popping off your head the whole time.
For those not in the know, Charlie has an extremely large head.
It's a size 8 1/8. I mean, big brain.
You would basically have to stick your head into a construction hat mold in order to get a hard hat that fits you.
Yeah,
And I know it's your cross to bear.
Yeah.
We're being mean. I'm sorry. Let's do traffic.
No, I could tell. I could tell all those years ago what he was thinking.
It's 7:53.
I'm imagining it now. By the way, what color was that hard hat? Was it blue and black, or is it gold and white?
Oh, my goodness. Let's not go there. My brain hurts. Sully, what's happening?
Okay, well, we're still dealing with about a 20 to 25-minute delay on northbound I-5, getting from Lacey through DuPont. The DuPont gate to JBLM is closed for construction. 2-week project set to wrap up 2 weeks from today. So plan on, about a 55-minute drive to an hour. Once you get through that, it's not too bad the rest of the way. Tacoma itself is manageable. Pierce County is as well. More yellow than red in the usual places. Then Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour. Getting closer to an hour to run the Valley Freeway. Boy, it is bumper to bumper from Stewart all the way up past 277th today as you work your way into and through the Auburn corridor. So that's about a 15-minute delay up the valley. Renton to Bellevue's 45 minutes. Lake bridges are okay. I-90 a little slowing there as you approach the Mount Baker Tunnel. Hour and 20 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about an hour and 5 from Everett to Seattle, and we are really struggling now westbound across the Trestle. I'm looking to see if we might have something blocking right as we get over to the Snohomish River. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Forecast looks like we will have showers this morning, sun breaks, maybe even partly sunny this afternoon. High in the mid-60s, low 70s. Our forecast high tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. Right now in Seattle, 51 and cloudy.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has details on the 19-year-old arrested for a triple shooting at a nightclub on Capitol Hill.
Plus, we'll have our weekly chat with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold.
This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, sandwiches at the summit. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stick to your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon.
But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
With Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, maintenance is the key to a long-lasting roof. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? Call us today. Our first-time customers can save $99. Visit us at GuardianRoofing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Pentagon launching what it says were defensive airstrikes inside Iran, reportedly targeting missile launch sites and Iranian mine-laying boats, even as President Trump says progress is being made on peace talks.
It's totally confusing. Last month I was in Pakistan, and they kind of the same language. It seemed like serious negotiations, but it went nowhere. And they said that we're very close. They're saying we're very close again.
ABC Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz. Doctors now suspect nearly 900 Ebola infections, and another 200 people are suspected to have died from it. At least 10 African nations being warned they have an elevated transmission risk. The U.S. imposing new restrictions on people coming from the infected areas. Big primary in Texas today, a runoff between incumbent Senator John Cornyn and his challenger State Attorney General Ken Paxton, who has the endorsement of President Trump. The president did Walter Reed today for physical and dental appointments. He turns 80 next month. This is ABC News. Shark attacks are relatively rare in this country, but we've already had at least 2 reported incidents this weekend alone, both of them happening off the Texas Gulf Coast.
Around 8 million people visit Galveston Island each year, and local officials say that in the past century, only 17 have been bitten by sharks. On Monday, a 17-year-old fishing with his dad on a boat off Galveston was helping to haul in a shark they had caught when he was bitten. His father applied a tourniquet until help arrived, but the teen had reportedly lost a lot of blood when he finally made it to a hospital.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan in Dallas. Temperature records toppling as a spring heat wave continues to scorch parts of Western Europe, triggering government warnings about risks to life. Several drownings have been reported in Britain and France as people are trying to cool down. Party like it's 1999. That was the theme of the night for the New York Knicks, who swept the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals last night. Their last appearance in the NBA Finals was in 1999. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
8:02 now. Here's what's happening.
Pierce County deputies continue searching for whoever robbed and shot a 17-year-old boy to death in Parkland. Investigators have identified the victim now as Braylon Diaz. He was killed in front of his girlfriend.
Tacoma police have arrested a woman after a deadly stabbing. A man drove himself to a hospital Sunday night, died of his injuries. Detectives later found the crime scene on South M Street.
Adams County deputies are investigating a mid-air skydiving collision near Ritzville. One skydiver died at the scene Sunday. Another was hurt.
Chelan County offices offline this morning after a malware attack shut down every department's networks and phones. IT teams are still working to restore service. No word on when systems come back.
And some good news from the roads. Traffic deaths in Washington dropped for the second year in a row. The State Traffic Safety Commission counted 659 deaths last year, more than a 10% drop from 2 years ago.
At 8:03, we check traffic on the 3s. Here's Sully.
And I did find out what is happening on westbound Highway 2 across the trestle. We have a stall right at the top of the high-rise there on the I-5, the Everett side of things, right at the top of the Snohomish River there. Left lane is blocked, and we're backing up all the way across the trestle, and then really not quite from Bickford. So plan on at least a 10 or 12-minute delay trying to get across the trestle. Doesn't look to be too severe. I'm hoping they can push this thing down around the corner and out of the way, but right now that's our issue coming down from the north end. And then you have brake lights past 128th, and then just a solid day today. Everett to Bellevue is running an hour and 20. Everett to Seattle about an hour and 5. So brake lights are right where they should be, but boy, it's heavy. We also have a little bit of weather up there too that's kind of causing things to be a little slower than normal. Coming up from the south end, still struggling from Lacey up through DuPont. The DuPont gate to JBLM is closed for construction. We have a 7-mile backup and a 25-minute delay. It's an hour from Olympia to Tacoma. Once you're past DuPont and get up into Tacoma, you're in good shape. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour, well over an hour from Puyallup to Renton, about a 15-minute delay up the Valley Freeway. Bumper to bumper from Pacific all the way up past 277th into Kent. And then Renton to Bellevue is 45 minutes. Lake Bridges, though, are okay. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
It's 8:04 on the Tuesday, May 26, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Seattle police have arrested the man wanted in a triple shooting outside a Capitol Hill nightclub.
In court documents, investigators say they saw the suspect get into a fight, then pull out a gun and start shooting.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the details on the arrest.
Yeah, Amanda, here's what we know about the suspect. 19 years old. He's from Tacoma. He has not been charged yet, but he's in jail right now on $1.5 million bail. Seattle Police Detective Brian Pritchard tells me surveillance video showed the suspect got into that fist fight with the victim outside a nightclub. He walked away, then he came back and started fighting again before pulling out a gun.
As suspects were leaving, at least one of them fired shots back toward the club.
And that one of them, according to police, was the suspect. In court documents, police say they took one look at the suspect on the surveillance video they had and identified him right away. They say they arrested him just 2 weeks ago for possessing a firearm. 2 other victims were shot outside the nightclub as well. All 3 victims are recovering right now. Charges could be filed as early as tomorrow.
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 8:05.
The Pierce County Sheriff's Office is still looking for the people who robbed a teenage boy in Parkland and shot him to death in front of his girlfriend. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin has the update.
That evening, a car drove past, did a U-turn, then came up beside the couple, demanding they come closer to the car.
Essentially, they robbed him of a gold chain that was around his neck and then shot him and took off. Just absolutely senseless crime.
Deputies say he died from those injuries. They tell us that this was a random robbery and shooting.
The victim has now been identified as 17-year-old Braylon Diaz.
Bail has been set at $5,000 for a suspended Longview School District Superintendent, Karen Cloninger. Seattle Times reports she appeared in court Friday after being arrested on suspicion of witness tampering, failure to report, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. The allegations stem from Mark Morris High School's sexual abuse investigation, where investigators say Cloninger directed staff to keep concerns in-house and withheld information from police for more than a month. A judge also issued a no-contact order barring her from students and listed witnesses. Cloninger's next court hearing is set for June 10th.
Chelan County officials say a malware attack forced them to shut down all government networks, computers, and phone systems yesterday morning. The breach was detected about 10 o'clock. The shutdown affected every county department. IT teams are working with security partners to restore the systems, but there's no timeline for when those services will be back online.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Much better than... Oh, good morning. That's yes.
Yeah, yes it is.
Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
That song was on MTV approximately every 2 minutes back
you know, it's
in
better than
the
the owner of a broken heart.
Oh, is it broken or lonely?
Oh, it's lonely.
No, but it's better than a
I
owner
see
of a broken heart.
Yeah.
You see,
okay.
Next line.
Okay.
The song.
Much better than.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday. It's May 26th. He's Charlie Harger and Manda Factor. He's Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, Nick Krasia, good one again. Nick back playing the tunes and keeping us all on track. Of course, we have Katrina Gishard out at the KIRO Radio News Desk. We have Frank Summerall at the My Northwest News Desk and David Burbank producing the show today.
And coming up this hour, our weekly chat with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold. We ask him about the war with Iran and the nearly $2 billion settlement between the president and the IRS.
I have no idea what he's going to say, but G. Scott is stopping by. Pike Place Market about to test out a new program allowing open alcoholic beverages while you shop. G has some thoughts. That's coming up at 8:45.
It's 8:08. Today marks day 2 of what's called the 100 Deadliest Days of Summer. It's when deadly car crashes spike for younger drivers. We get more from KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
This year so far, there have been 167 deadly crashes and more than 700 possible serious injury. There were a total of 24,805 crashes so far. Now, experts blame this deadly period on a number of driving issues like distracted driving, as well as not using seat belts, as well as substance abuse issues, and much more. They're urging all drivers to be careful when they're out on the road, especially for the next 3 months.
Canadian investigators are asking people in the Pacific Northwest for help identifying a woman found dead along a Vancouver beach nearly 4 years ago. The kayaker, discovered off Spanish Banks in 2022, didn't have any ID, only a backpack, candy, a sweater, and insulin. Detective Rebecca Matson with Vancouver Police says a new breakthrough came when testing her sweater.
Pollen that was indigenous to the Portland, Seattle areas, so presumably had spent time there. There was not pollen found on it that would be native to BC.
Now, we have a composite photo of the woman on mynorthwest.com. She's believed to be in her 30s, of African descent, and she died from severe anaphylaxis, not drowning. Foul play is not suspected. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Vancouver Police Department.
Mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt name-dropped Seattle in his plan to tackle the homelessness crisis in Los Angeles. The former reality TV star tells ABC7 most people living on LA's streets are battling addiction, not homelessness.
These people, when I unplug them and say we're not taking our tax money anymore, they're all going to Seattle, where the mayor will welcome them.
Pratt says he's already spoken with federal agencies about building a large-scale treatment facility on federal land. Last week, the Seattle City Council unanimously passed a measure that allows for larger homeless shelters and tiny home villages.
Everett firefighters pulled off an unusual technical rescue yesterday after a man jumped into the chimney of a vacant home. Police were originally called for a trespassing complaint when smoke was spotted coming from the chimney on the 1300 block of Broadway. Officers say the man climbed onto the roof and slid down about 10 feet before refusing help. Fire crews had to break open the fireplace and surrounding wall to safely pull the guy out. He was taken into custody and transported to a hospital for evaluation.
Well, the Mariners are back on track as they won Game 1 of a big series against the division-leading Athletics. Seattle's offense took control early, scoring 6 runs in the third, including this missile from Luke Raley.
Swung on, blasted, right field. This is on its way. It is gone. Luke Raley thunders a 2-run home run into the Mariners bullpen.
That was one of 4 home runs from the Mariners last night. Final score, 9-2. They won Game 2 of the series in Sacramento. Tonight, first pitch, 6:40. Of course, you can catch all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
I would never cheer for the Astros. However, yesterday they had a no-hitter.
Yeah.
First one in like 2 seasons. And this guy here, his name is Alamber Santa. I'm probably totally mispronouncing. He was one of the pitchers on the game. That was his MLB debut. Just imagine that pressure.
And he got a no-hitter?
No-hitter. 3 Astros pitchers combined, but really, it's only happened once before in MLB history.
I think it's easier to take it as a positive thing when the Mariners have dominated the Astros, especially the Astros pitchers in the matchups against them. So we'll give it to the Astros.
I'm not sure I can go that far. But yes, it was very unusual, different, and congratulations to the rookie. How about that?
There you go.
Okay. 8:12 now. It's time to get a check on the weather. And looking at the forecast, we're expecting to have showers this morning. Occasional. It starts to dry out by the afternoon. It's partly sunny. 63. We warm up tomorrow and Thursday. Mostly sunny both days. 73 tomorrow, 77 Thursday. Clouds start to make a comeback on Friday. Chance of showers late in the day. Might have clouds and showers on Saturday as well. Highs in the low 60s. Right now in Seattle, though, we have cloudy skies. It's 51.
It's 8:13. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you. Chris Sullivan, what's happening?
Well, we're wasting about 10 or 15 minutes just about everywhere before you even get out the front door. It's one of those days. We're looking at some improving, though, westbound across the trestle. The stall over on the I-5 Everett side of things there in the westbound direction appears to have cleared, but we still have pretty heavy braking trying to make your way through. And then it's about an hour and a half to go from Everett to Bellevue and about an hour and 15 to go from Everett to Seattle. Not a pleasant day coming down out of the north end. Now, speaking of not pleasant, we've got an hour and 20-minute trip from Olympia to Tacoma. That is a 35 to 40-minute delay, all because the DuPont gate at JBLM is closed for construction. Today's the first day. Not sure if everybody got the memo. I didn't, and a lot of people may not have, but construction, 2 weeks worth. So we're backed up from well before Cabela's all the way through DuPont. After that, not bad. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour. Valley Freeway, still about an hour. We have heavy brake lights from the beginnings of Boeing Field up through Auburn and then continuing through Kent. Rented to Bellevue's closer to 50 now, so not pleasant there either. The Lake Bridges, though, are in okay shape. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Every Tuesday, we call up New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold to talk about the big national headlines of the week. David, let's begin in Iran. We had a little flare-up yesterday. This, as the president says, a deal is near.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a reflection of the fact that the deal may not be near. What happened yesterday was that the U.S. launched what it described as self-defense strikes against missile sites, Iranian missile sites, and mine-laying operations in near the Strait of Hormuz. So, I mean, this is probably what you need to do in this situation. Trump has said he wants a deal that will reopen the Strait of Hormuz and provide some guarantees about Iran's nuclear program. And Iran seems to be slow-walking that. I think they feel like every day that goes by, they gain more leverage, right? Because they keep the Strait of Hormuz closed and gas prices go up. So I think this is Trump trying to increase the pain for them, at the same time as they're increasing pain for him. But I don't know. I don't see any real hurry from the Iranians to reach a deal. And right now, the deal seems to be slowly moving in their direction.
How do we say the ceasefire is still in effect?
It's one of those funny situations in diplomacy where everybody with a straight face will say something that's not true at all. We have ceased fire, even as we are firing. I think they really don't want the United States and Iran. Neither one of them wants a return to full-scale war, especially Trump, because it creates this open-ended thing where he doesn't have a way to get what he wants out of this military conflict. And so I think he would rather just forget about it and have it end.
What kind of pressure is President Trump getting from his right flank, say Ted Cruz and senators like that?
People are, I think the main pressure that he's getting is not ideological, but sort of self-interested, that people see the weight this is putting on Republicans' chances in the midterm elections. They see how unpopular Trump is becoming, how much the $5 gas is weighing on his chances and Republicans' chances more generally. So I think they would like to see him end this war and find a way to reopen the strait as soon as possible. Even people that are generally hawkish on Iran, I think their main worry now is that he is going to give away too much to the Iranians just to find a way to get out of it. But there's not really anybody that I can see calling for a resumption of military action.
David, let's talk about the so-called anti-weaponization fund. The Justice Department awarded the Trump administration for people who the president claims were unfairly targeted by the Biden administration. This is getting a lot of pushback.
It is. So this originated, as we talked about last week, when Trump sued his own IRS and said that he wanted $10 billion in damages because an IRS contractor had leaked his tax returns. What happened was they settled it. Trump and his own government settled this lawsuit. And they used this thing called the Judgment Fund or the Settlement Fund. It's basically a Justice Department fund that is unlimited. It's funded by taxpayers, but there's sort of no limit on how much money could be taken out of it. And they used that to create what they call this weaponization fund. It's $1.8 billion that Trump wants to give to a committee set up basically by his own attorney general to give away money to people who were harmed by the Biden and Obama administration. So they have said that could include January 6th rioters who were prosecuted under Biden. It could include people like Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, other Trump allies, so that he will face no tax enforcement action for that. His companies, his family members will face no tax enforcement. Basically, that he can't be audited or charged with any sort of crime for things that he already did in his taxes. It sounds like a pardon, and I think it is effectively a pardon while Trump is in office. This Justice Department has said that they will not make any effort to enforce tax law against Trump. It's not a pardon in the way that an actual pardon is, in that it's not binding on future Justice Departments. Future Justice Departments could say, well, we didn't agree to this, or we don't think that this is something that anybody could have agreed to, and we're going to enforce the law in the future. I'm sure that would be a legal fight, but it's not something that's open and closed. It's got to be, that forecloses any chance of tax enforcement later on.
Let's talk about something else that's become quite controversial, the repainting of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. There's now a lawsuit against the Trump administration over this. Bring us up to speed.
We've talked about this a couple times. Trump, starting in April, hired a company through a no-bid contract to repair the bottom of the Lincoln Memorial, to basically put waterproofing material on the bottom of that pool and to paint it blue. The blue part is what's controversial. Trump has said it's going to look like a beautiful swimming pool, and he's posted pictures of it looking sort of like a turquoise Caribbean waters. But you're not allowed to change monuments, icons like that of a national mall without some sort of formal review. And so there's a nonprofit called the Cultural Landscape Foundation that's saying, you Trump administration bypass the rules that are supposed to preserve the look of the mall. And the Trump administration's response actually has been interesting. It's been basically that the president is wrong. When he says it's going to be a big, bright, beautiful blue, and everyone will see how blue it is, they're wrong. It's not going to look blue at all. It's just going to look dark and reflective the way it always has. So there were arguments in that case on Thursday before a judge about a temporary restraining order. The nonprofit has asked the judge to stop the repainting in its tracks. And I think we'll find out this week whether the judge will say yes. He did not seem inclined to say yes last week. He seemed like he was saying, well, okay, I want to think about this some more, but, I don't see any reason to stop the painting now, because if I rule later that this is the wrong paint color, you can just paint over it.
So we have a president who tears down the east wing of the White House, who changes the reflecting pool. And, of course, we have this triumphal arch that he's considering building in Washington, D.C. Is the order of a judge really going to matter much to President Trump?
The orders of judges have mattered to him so far. I mean, the reconstruction of the White House ballroom, or the construction of the White House ballroom, was paused because of a judge's ruling earlier this year. I think that will be overturned by an appeals court. But yes, it has seemed to stop them in their tracks. But you're right. The interesting thing about this is, as we talked about, Iran, inflation, gas prices, there's all kinds of problems in the world. And President Trump has seemed in that time of crisis to become really focused on these smaller things. I mean, they're big to us here in D.C., but they are relatively small in terms of the country's problems. Repainting a reflecting pool, building a ballroom, sort of construction projects within sight of the White House. His world seems to have shrunk, and the grandiose ambitions that he had for the whole country are now just sort of within the 3 square miles around his home.
David, we always appreciate your time. Thank you so much. New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold.
These are your political insights from ABC News. Tuesday, we'll see runoff elections for U.S. Senate candidates in Texas. GOP's John Cornyn is looking to win a 5th straight term, while AG Ken Paxton got President Trump's endorsement May 19th. Representative James Tallarico is the state's Democratic Senate nominee. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill was denied entry Monday to Delaney Hall, Newark's ICE detention facility, where there is ongoing protesting and a hunger strike. Relatives scheduled to see their loved ones were also reportedly denied. Democratic New Jersey Congressman Rob Menendez Jr.
The reason they want to make this as hard as possible, they won't let the governor in, is because they don't want us to tell the stories of what's happening inside. Because when we tell the stories, everyone in New Jersey and people across the country realize this is not who we are as a country, but a reflection of who we are in this moment under the Trump administration.
A senior U.S. official tells ABC News a potential interim Iran agreement would include reopening the Strait of Hormuz and removing a U.S. blockade. I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
Concerns are growing as a deadly Ebola outbreak expands across Central Africa. The director of the World Health Organization warns the situation will get worse before it gets better. Here's News Nation's Marty Hughes.
This epidemic still focused in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where 900 suspected cases and another 220 deaths have been reported so far. The risk level now upgraded to high in the region as cases tick up in Uganda, which is adjacent. In an effort to stop the spread, the WHO has released an additional $3.9 million in emergency funding, while the U.S. State Department is backing the creation of up to 50 clinics to respond to the outbreak.
The type of Ebola virus behind this outbreak is rare, with no targeted vaccine or treatment.
8:23 now. We check traffic on the threes. Chris Sullivan is here.
And we have more than a 30-minute delay for those of you trying to go from Olympia into Tacoma. It's all right there between Lacey and JBLM. This is all because of the DuPont gate being closed for construction there at JBLM. And so there's a lot more traffic on the roadway. People have to go and get off at the main gate now. And so we're looking at an hour and 10-minute trip from Olympia to Tacoma. It's about 35 minutes just to get to Lacey from Olympia. Let that sink. Let that sink in. Hey, honey, I'm running to Cabela's. No, you're not. If you're heading out of Olympia right now. No, you got to let this pass through. And we've got 2 weeks of this. Today was day one. I'm thinking people will probably make alternate plans going forward for construction there. Most of Pierce County, though, is cleaning out. We do have a little eastbound slowing getting into a Gig Harbor on 16, but it's manageable. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour up the Valley Freeway. That's about 15 minutes slower than it should be. Off and on braking through Pacific today. And then a little gap through Kent. And the north end isn't actually as bad as it could be. So there's some positivity there. Northbound 405, we're looking at 45 minutes to get you up into Bellevue. Kind of a standard heavy day, just a slight gap at the north end before you hit it again by southeast 8th. Also, southbound 405, we had another crash getting down into the S-curves, so we're losing time there. Across the lake, though, we're doing okay. Coming down from the north end, hour and a half Everett to Bellevue, about an hour and 10 from Everett to Seattle. There are some brake lights through Linwood today as well, as people are looking for alternates way around. And we're still struggling from Bickford westbound 2 and from 204 down to Lake Stevens to the east end of the trestle. We had a stall at the west end that has taken just a little bit of time to clean out. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, a few showers around this morning. We should dry out, though, by the afternoon. 63 today with partly cloudy skies later. For tomorrow, mostly sunny, 73. Mostly sunny on Thursday and a little warmer. And then Friday, we'll get back to some rain, mostly cloudy and 61. Right now, it's cloudy and 51 in Seattle.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with a backlash Seattle leadership is getting from the community surrounding Aurora Avenue after another hail of gunfire over the weekend.
Also, News Nation host Leland Vitter breaks down a contentious Senate race in Texas. That's just ahead here on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead. Explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof inspected. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we'll help it last as long as possible. Our trained and licensed crew will evaluate your roof, repairing when we can and offering replacement options only when necessary. Plus, every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. Developing news. An explosion in Longview sent multiple people to hospitals with chemical burns.
This happened about an hour ago near the Nippon Dynawave Packaging Company. Mike Gorsuch is Longview's fire battalion chief.
And it's a major chemical explosion. There is no threat to the community. The threat's been neutralized, but we are treating patients at this time and transporting to area hospitals.
Unclear how many people. The scene remains active. You are asked to avoid the area.
A group of people who live in North Seattle are going to extremes in the name of keeping their neighborhood safe from the ongoing gun violence.
After 95 shootings in the last 2 years, they've installed large steel planters over the weekend to block their streets because they say city leaders aren't doing enough.
We get the update this morning live from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, Amanda, these residents say there is a shootout in their neighborhood just off Aurora Avenue North near North 98th Street every single week. Seattle police have said a lot of times those shootouts are between pimps in a prostitution turf war. Last week, Jake told KIRO 7 TV, or over the weekend, I should say, bullets hit his house and just missed his newborn baby.
Could have lost my 6-week-old beautiful baby boy.
And so now they are saying enough is enough. He claims the Seattle Department of Transportation said they were supposed to close several streets to block off traffic from Aurora getting into this neighborhood. However, the mayor's office, apparently, according to these residents, never gave SDOT the order to do it. So the residents blocked the streets themselves. And one of those residents, Mike, wonders if it will last.
If these aren't taken down by people that are angry at these barriers, it's most likely going to be taken down by the city. It's just only a matter of time.
So if you see these blockades, barriers, or like large kind of steel planters, neighbors say they attach a letter to these to explain why they're there, saying that they want to protect their families, they want to protect their homes, they want to protect their livelihoods. There was a shooting in that area Saturday morning near the Burgermaster at 98th and Aurora, where police recovered some 40 shell casings. Mayor Katie Wilson said police are immediately increasing their patrols throughout that area.
All right. Luke Ducey reporting live is 8:32.
President Trump is spending part of the day at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center for dental and medical evaluations. We get more from ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
President Trump traveled to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Maryland today for what the White House called his routine annual dental and medical assessments. This marks his third visit to the medical center in 13 months. He had a physical in April 2025 and went back for a follow-up appointment in October, which the White House later said included a CT scan to assess his cardiovascular and abdominal health. His doctor said at the time the imaging was, quote, perfectly normal, and the president remains in, quote, excellent health. It's also the third visit to the dentist in 5 months for the president, who turns 80 next month. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
8:33 now. Time to check traffic on the threes with Sully.
It's one of those days where you're 10 or 15 minutes behind schedule before you leave the front door. We do have some kind of annoying weather, a little light rain here and there, and that always bogs us down. But now to the issues that are actually, other than weather, we have about a 25 to 35 minute delay, depending on how you hit it, on northbound I-5 from Olympia to Tacoma. This is because the DuPont gate to JBLM is closed, and it is closed for 2 weeks for construction. So people have got to go someplace else, and so all those people are not getting off at DuPont, and we've created about a 7-mile off and on backup. You're well over an hour to make the drive from Olympia to Tacoma. Once you get through that, Tacoma's not too bad. Federal Way to Seattle's about an hour. Most of the heavy slowing there is from the beginnings of Boeing Field on up. 509 northbound, also looking at the brake lights getting out of the Burien area. Again, that's just weather. Rented to Bellevue, about 45 minutes. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, back under an hour. So it looks like most of the traffic is kind of working its way through. We still have a very heavy drive there, though. Across the lake, no problems. Coming down from the north end, we do have heavy braking southbound 5 in the Linwood area. It's unusual for this time of day. Then a nice long gap till you get down to about 175th, and then you hit it again. Hour and 20 from Everett to Seattle, about an hour and a half from Everett to Bellevue. And if you're going northbound on I-5, we have a crash just past the Mill Creek interchange over on the left-hand side. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast has some showers around this morning. Should be partly cloudy by afternoon, though. 63 our high for today. Tomorrow and Thursday, mostly sunny skies. 73 tomorrow, upper 70s Thursday. And it looks like the rain will be back on Friday. Much cooler, about 61. Right now in Seattle, cloudy skies and 51.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
Tuesdays, we call up Leland Vittert, the host of On Balance, 6 o'clock every weeknight on News Nation. Leland, good morning. Great to have you back with us today. I thought we would start with what you've been talking about in your War Notes newsletter, the situation in Iran. We're getting some mixed signals here. What is your take as these peace negotiations are underway?
Well, we're a lot farther away, I think, than President Trump and his team would like to be. And what you're seeing evolve is a understanding of where the White House wants to end up and why. In order to win this, in the eyes of the American people, the White House thinks they need 3 things. They need the uranium to come out or be destroyed, the enriched uranium the Iranians have. They need the Strait of Hormuz to reopen for gas prices to come down, and they need to somehow have some kind of capitulation outside from Iran. With those 3 things, they can spin, and perhaps rightly so, that this was a real win for America. The sacrifices, the blood, the treasure, the gas prices we have all been paying are all worth it. And if they can get all of those things, they can declare victory. And that, I think, is what you're seeing President Trump want to do.
I'm struggling to understand how we can say that there is a ceasefire in effect when they're trading strikes.
Well, it's a reasonable point. That said, I've been in a lot of Middle East ceasefires where there are skirmishes. I've been in a lot of Middle East ceasefires where there is a small faction that is causing problems, and that sort of both sides agree that that faction will be dealt with differently than the overall picture. There's no question that we're not in a full-scale force-on-force war with the Iranians anymore. Not that the U.S. wouldn't win that, but it's certainly a very different feel, I think, than the original war where you had drone strikes and missile strikes going into Arab countries, into Israel, and to U.S. bases, and the U.S. bombing Iran on an hourly basis.
President is getting some pressure from his right flank, including Ted Cruz, Secretary of State, former Secretary Mike Pompeo. What are we hearing from that side of the aisle?
Yeah, Charlie, I think it's a great point. I don't know whether any more right and left kind of matter, whether Ted Cruz is really to the right of Donald Trump or is he more hawkish but more conservative fiscally. I have no idea about the spectrum part. But what I can tell you is you identified, I think, the biggest issue for this White House, which is that Republican senators, be it Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham on Iran, be it Tom Tillis and Cornyn and others on the weaponization fund, the $1.76 billion or the $1 billion ballroom fund or anything else, Republican senators are no longer afraid to buck President Trump and to publicly challenge him. That's a change. And for a guy who's sitting on a very slim majority going into the midterms, that's a very scary place to be. And it is certainly imperiling all the things the president needs to get done. He needs Supreme Court justices if somebody resigns. He definitely needs some cabinet picks from both for the attorney general, now for the director of national intelligence, others possibly to come confirmed. And he wants to try to get these last few funding bills over before potentially Republicans lose the Senate.
Since you mentioned midterms, let's talk about Texas. A lot of coverage of the primary runoff election taking place there. What's the importance there?
Well, the importance is the completely self-inflicted wound of Republicans. John Cornyn was going to win re-election in a walk in Texas. And because President Trump doesn't like John Cornyn because of Cornyn's past votes and speaking out against Trump, Trump endorsed a guy named Ken Paxton, who's the morally and ethically challenged attorney general in Texas. And I mean as generous as I can. I see Charlie giggling when I said morally challenged attorney general to run. So there was a bruising primary, which cost $100 million for Republicans. Now there is this runoff today that you guys pointed out in which Paxton will almost certainly win because he got the Trump endorsement. And then Paxton goes up against James Tallarico, who's a very charismatic, very popular Democrat that has a chance to win. And even if he's not going to win, he is going to force Republicans to spend $150 million in Texas that they could have spent elsewhere in Michigan or in Ohio or in Maine, North Carolina, and all because President Trump wanted to sort of settle this personal score with John Cornyn.
That is News Nation's Leland Vittert. He joins us every Tuesday.
It's 8:40. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're looking at the 30-minute delays northbound I-5 as you make your way out of Olympia. We'll talk about it next.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, you're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps. Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo on June 6th, Lacey on June 9th, or Bellevue on June 13th. 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
8:43 now. We check traffic on the threes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
All right, let's start with the positive, where we're picking up the pace on northbound I-5 through the Lacey area into JBLM. Back down under an hour to go from Olympia to Tacoma. Still, I know, a 25-minute delay, but we're getting better. It was up to an hour and 20. The reason the DuPont gate to JBLM is closed for construction, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. And so we're looking at people doing alternate things on the fly. Tomorrow, hopefully, will be better. The rest of the map, still pretty struggly. Struggly? That's not really a word.
Yeah, it is now.
Okay, thank you. I'm channeling our good friend Nick Allard, making up words on the fly there as well. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour drive now. Really heavy the last 2 miles trying to work your way into downtown. Valley Freeway still up over 55 minutes, and then Federal Rented to Bellevue is about 50. So those are 10, 15-minute variety delays. Looking at the Lake Bridges, both of them in westbound direction, looking okay. Coming down from the north end, still struggling on southbound I-5 as you work your way into Linwood. That's one of the reasons why we're up to about 50 minutes out of Linwood and an hour and 10 from Everett. Everett to Bellevue, though, much worse. An hour and a half drive for you guys. Hour and 10 of that away from Linwood. Struggling from Canyon Park now all the way down through Totem Lake. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast has showers this morning. Will be cloudy for a bit, but partly cloudy by afternoon, warming up to 63 for today. Tomorrow and Thursday look beautiful if you like the sunshine. Mostly sunny. High of 73 tomorrow, 77 Thursday. Looks like we'll cool way down to 61 on Friday as we see some more rain move in. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 51.
Coming up, G. Scott on Pike Place Market's new Sip and Stroll program. We'll check in with G next on Seattle's Morning News.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Washington is helping men take control of their health with a free, comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value included when starting treatment. Your panel checks key health markers, including testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidneys, liver, and thyroid, so you can finally understand what your body's been trying to tell you. Since 2011, over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Get answers, get a plan, and start feeling better. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free, comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, you know, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, I missed this guy yesterday. He's back, though. G. Scott, G and Ursula Show, 9 to noon here on KIRO News Radio. Good morning, G.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
You're looking particularly coordinated and sharp today.
Appreciate it. You know, I figured I hadn't worn this kind of fit, so I need to start wearing some colorful fits. You know what I'm saying?
Got my permission. Hey, we wanted to talk to you about what's
Sip
going
and Savor?
on. Yeah, Sip and Savor. Pike Place Market. You can walk around with booze in hand.
Yes, right. Pike Place did something that some people are going to clutch their pearls about, and then some people will be like, oh, this is a great idea. So here's what's going to happen. Starting on June 5th, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from noon to 5, meaning officially you need to be done with everything by 5 o'clock, there will be closing the roads to cars and letting you walk the market with beer or a glass of wine or a cocktail in hand. They're calling it Sip and Savor. So, yes, you will get ID'd, you'll get a wristband, and you will drink from a marked cup in a marked area where 24 local businesses will get the opportunity to be in on this. So if you're someone that's like, hey, I support small businesses, you should support this. Now, again, I told you that there will be people that will clutch pearls. So it's like, I don't like this at all. But then it'll be the same people that show up to a UW game for tailgate. So if you go to tailgate and you go partake in beverages, you should have no problem with this. What I also love about this plan is I like the way they are rolling it out. They're rolling it out right before the World Cup. Bingo, let's go. That's nice. That's going to happen. But I also like the hours. I love the 12 to 5, right? So basically, 4:30 is when the cutoff is. 5 o'clock, you need to be done with your beverage. It is the right time. And so somebody's like, well, why don't they extend? No. Let's keep it right here during that time. If you want to keep the party going, go somewhere else and keep the party going. But right there, that is a perfect way to lay that out and continue it going. It's going to be ending Labor Day weekend. But I think because of the success of this, we're going to see this continue in the future because I really believe in this.
I just think about, man, if I have a pint or two in me and I walk down to the comic book shop, which is my favorite shop at the Pike Place Market, there goes a budget where I might be able to control myself. Yeah. I might be buying some back issues of Batman, maybe Flash.
Are you saying that when you if you partake in an adult beverage, it'll have you doing things you wouldn't normally do?
There's a reason they say don't drink in prime.
No. I don't know about that, Charlie. I have to assess that, because it's not really a great idea for you to, do things that you weren't gonna do with a little adult beverage. Man. But no, I
gotta wash myself, man.
Yeah, this is gonna be again.
What about the magic shop there too? I could walk into that, or the coin shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or any of the little local artists.
Yeah, these are shops
jewelry
I've never been
places.
into.
Yeah, gee,
I have no idea.
This might be one for the
Magic
Quarter
shops,
Zip Council.
comic books. Wow. Charlie, I was just thinking about all the things that you and I have in common. They're growing by the day. Speaking of that, I got to tell you, I just left Vancouver, BC. I was up there, and
I saw your pictures. They're spectacular.
No, well, thank you.
I love Vancouver.
First of all, the food's great. Did more walking. On Sunday, 24,000 steps I got in for the day. We just did some walking everywhere. But here's what stood out to me in Vancouver that's a little different from here. I got some things I got to do downtown. You know the World Cup is coming to Vancouver. Everywhere you turn, it's World Cup this, World Cup that, and everything. And I got a little jealous. Yeah. Because I was just like, wait a minute. I want to see more signage and things like that. Maybe I've missed it, but everywhere I turn, I would see World Cup stuff.
I think all I've seen so far is the painted columns on the monorail.
Yeah.
Okay, you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen that, so I need to go look for it. But yeah.
Go by Lumen Field today. It can't be called Lumen Field during the World Cup.
Yeah,
so they have a big black drape over the word Lumen. It just says Field out there right now.
It will be Seattle Stadium,
Yeah,
right?
Seattle Stadium.
Yeah, I cannot wait for the World Cup. I'm looking forward to it.
You're going to be our host, right?
Well, you know. I'll wait to my first official rehearsal. That's going to be happening here in, less than 2 weeks. I was just talking to someone yesterday, so I'll kind of wait to talk about it then. Let me get officially in there. Let me get my first rehearsal in the books.
Okay.
And but by the way, I was in Vancouver, and I stopped by this pub had this, I guess, Arsenal was playing against this one team in a match up there, and they won the league. And so I wanted to do some research. It reminds me of like Charlie going on Aurora Avenue. Anyway, I did some research and went in there and watched them, hey, so what does soccer mean to you? And they're like, yo, they really take that stuff serious.
Oh, yeah.
Serious. So I can't wait to be around the love and the passion of it all.
In Canada, do they, I honestly don't know, do they call it soccer or football?
I think they call it soccer, don't they?
I don't know.
Because there's Canadian football.
Yeah.
The BC Lions.
Yeah, the BC Lions. I don't know, Charlie.
Okay.
But I know it was serious, and I was confused because I'm like, okay, but why is it so packed here at this pub? And well, here's the thing. Arsenal, they already won the league, so after this match, there's going to be the handing of the celebration of the trophy. And I'm like, but they're playing right now, and so like the game kind of didn't matter. They were totally confused.
All right. Well, glad you had a nice weekend. You made an excuse.
There we go.
All right. G and Ursula coming up 9 to noon here on KIRO News Radio. Sully, take it away.
Still a struggle out there across the board, about a 20-minute delay just about everywhere you're going. We have 25 minutes worth of a delay getting through Lacey up through JBLM. DuPont Gate remains closed for construction, and so we are seeing a pretty sizable backup. It's over an hour still from Olympia to Tacoma. Federal Way to Seattle's trying to get better on that Federal Way to South Center drive, but from South Center on up, it's still 45 minutes to get you into Seattle. That's an hour and 10 all the way from Federal Way. That's a 15-minute delay. Valley Freeway still up over an hour, so we're behind schedule there, and Renton to Bellevue's at 50 minutes. Lake Bridges are doing okay. Hour and a half Everett to Seattle, hour and 20 from Everett to Bellevue. Everett to switch that. Hour and a half Everett to Seattle, Bellevue, and an hour and 20 Everett to Seattle. And eastbound 18 is struggling over the top of Tiger Mountain. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Showers this morning, partly cloudy for the afternoon, 63 the high, and then back to the sunshine tomorrow, warming up to 73. It's 51 in Seattle right now.
All right, coming up on the G and Ursula Show, continued discussion here what Seattle is about to have in common with Las Vegas and New Orleans. Straight ahead on KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
It is summertime, which means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, fun with the family. And Brad, I'll bet it's easier to pay for with free checking from WaFd Bank.
That's right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking.
No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Hey, you'll also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated the best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me more about this card control feature I've heard so much about.
Dave, you can view transactions for individual cards, set controls and alerts, and if you forget your card at the restaurant, you can instantly turn it off while you go back to get it. You'll also have access to free tools like Zelle, mobile check deposit, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And don't forget, you can choose from some great-looking debit cards, including Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves cards. So visit WaFdBank.com and open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add 1 line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call